In the middle of the night, or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
What a crowd. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone's
Morning.
week off?
What's that, a week?
Yeah. How was your week off?
When did that happen? No, it was real good. Thank you.
That did happen. We had a week off. Can you believe it?
It was a quiet Thanksgiving at home, and it's just been busy working ever since.
We like quiet. I do enjoy a good, nice, quiet holiday. It serves me well. Of course, I didn't have one. I didn't have a quiet holiday. We had a lot of family. I got up at like really early, and we got out and started smoking the turkey. And it was 31 degrees outside, Randy.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Midwest, my friend.
No.
You've been here for a winter already, though, haven't you?
Well, we came in February, and I grew up in the Midwest, so
it's about the time you start cursing. Winter is about February.
Yeah, we left in 2014. So October 2014 is when we moved into Jacksonville. So yeah, it's been a minute. Oh, Hojo can't listen today. That's unfortunate.
Good. We're going to talk all about him then.
We're going to talk about Hojo then. Whiskey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Canadian Thanksgiving, different date than the thing. So, basically the same grind as usual. Not that my day changes much anyways, working from behind a desk.
Is it around the same time of year then?
October.
Oh, okay.
Oh, October.
Before Halloween then?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. That's cool though.
Yeah, it's even a different historical significance too. It's not because of the whole settlers thing with the natives and stuff. It's because a gentleman survived the trip over in the 1500s.
Okay.
Oh,
and they're supposed supposed to be thankful for that, or
Because he didn't die on the car ride over. Okay.
yeah. But
Yeah, the origins for Thanksgiving that everybody knows is the origins that were taught in public schools. It's not really our real uh, origin of Thanksgiving either, but that's a whole another story for another time.
Yep. It's what we. It's just what we. It's just what we tell folks.
Yep.
And why
It's
we
just the
celebrate.
stories we were told, and we just repeat them because history goes to the victors.
Yeah.
Right. So I think
What it
we're
is.
gonna have like 2 weeks worth of news to read today,
Oh
Cool.
wow.
and it still isn't that much.
Hang on, where's my
Still isn't
doom
that
and
much.
gloom cap? It's got to be around here
Doom
somewhere.
and gloom. Yes,
Yes.
it is. There's
Did
a
you
lot
ever-
of doom and gloom in the news today. It's.
Did you ever clip that song I sent you?
Well, so what fresh hell awaits us today then?
Oh boy.
The fresh hell that
Russ
awaits
Leach,
us today.
Russ Leach awaits us. There he is, and
Wow.
Pedro.
Death. Only death
Pedro.
can save us today.
Just look at this. As soon as I say what fresh hell awaits us, Pedro and Russ just show up.
Hey ho, colonists.
Hey ho.
Hello. Hello, you
Yeah.
imperialist scum. How are you doing?
Pumped. I'm pumped today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. So also this week we had a lot of talks about our terms of service because someone could not understand basic.
I don't know if you
Basic
want to get
English.
into full details on that. Since
No,
it's
I don't want to get
gotten
into
legal.
full details on that.
Yeah.
But it was nice because I was able to share bits and pieces of my story, and at this point, I feel like most people have heard why I am in Indiana and why I'm doing art full time instead of being in the pastorate. So it was a good chance for me to share kind of some of, the whole getting sick kind of things we came through, the resolve of not wanting to get ripped off again.
Taking the battle
Yeah.
scars.
Yeah, taking
Yeah.
the battle scars. Got this big. They cut me from sternum to belly button.
Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of stories, but it's also, I feel like, some great great testimony of, kind of what God will bring you through and the tenacity of the human spirit and what you can accomplish when you don't let fear encumber you and that kind of stuff, So all these kind of like, very positive kind of things. And so I was able to really take some negative this week and really just point the finger right back at all the good stuff, with why, Fund My Comic is a perfect example of, not giving up and saying, nobody else is going to be in charge of your boy here anymore. We're going to create our own success this morning. And so that's kind of what we did. And it was a lot of fun, but, some people don't understand just some of the finer aspects of contract writing and terms of service and all that kind of stuff. And, stuff that was very clear and obvious to the majority of people. Some trolls can latch on to 2 words, 3 words. They can latch on to 3 words out of a document that's like over 1,000 words. I think the document's like 2,000 words actually.
Sounds like SJW behavior to me.
It is. It really is, and especially coming from someone who claims not to be an SJW of all things. But still, that was that started. They started harassing Craig on Sunday, the 19th, the 18th or 19th, and they finally reached out to me on Monday before Thanksgiving, and it has been a thing up until just a couple of days ago, when the poor schlub got his teeth sunk into something else. So,
But that's the thing. Like some people are in the spectrum, and maybe those 2 words trigger like a diddling event in his childhood. Like who knows what's
never
going
know.
on?
yeah,
That's between him and his psychiatrist,
right.
and some medication. Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe Gordon's nailed it. That TOS troll must have been having his own issues at home. I think he did, and I feel bad for him. That was his whole life, and that's all he had really to do was to worry about that. But we were still able to accomplish quite a bit even during the holiday, and It was nice. You know, this week's been productive. I still have 2 more pages to get done. And I have some pre-press to do for Chrome Dog to get that off to the print today. And then, but I've knocked out 11 pages this week already.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's only Wednesday.
I can't believe that. And it's only Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. It's only Thursday.
It's only, yeah. Try again, Randy.
Friday? No,
Friday?
can't be Friday.
Friday, not yet. No, you didn't get up early.
Friday, I slept through my program.
So we got Ronan Dust in the house. Welcome, my friend. We also got
Hail.
Philbo Baggins here, and we got Dr. Mask, Retro Elixir in the house. Whiskey O'Connell is on the platform, and
What, like Mario?
Whiskey's
He's on that.
chatting away. Yeah.
Woo! He's here and there and everywhere. Same as with Russ Leach, the comic book black belt. Welcome this morning, Russ. Good to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, you haven't been swimming for a while, have you? Like,
I haven't been what? Swimming?
Swimming.
Swimming? No.
Yeah.
Glenn's in the house. Glenn, how you doing, man?
I
don't even understand where that question came from.
I would put my camera on, but because I'm drawing, there's a lot of light. So I am here and not afraid to show my face.
A lot of light, a lot of monkey light.
Yeah, I was trying to say screaming. Sorry.
Screaming. Stop screaming.
Swimming.
Screaming. But I said swimming. Because I'm having my coffee, guys.
Pineapple head.
Screaming swimmingly. That's what it is.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, it's not my first language, guys.
That's right. It's not.
That's okay. It's all right.
Taco, banana, bolsillo. Yeah.
Let's make fun of the bilingual guy.
You're
There
doing
we are.
very well.
Yeah.
Very well indeed.
You know how many
Yeah.
languages I speak? Barely this one.
So
I can speak grumpy old man pretty good.
speaking about grumpy old man, so Russ, you made a comment about the face thing. What about the hat?
What are you saying? What are you saying about my hat?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Good.
What are you implying, Wesley?
Don't fuck with me.
Yeah, you think he's like selling newspapers? Like he's in the
People in these parts have a lot to say about headwear.
like he's in the he's in the
Welcome, Hojo.
he's part of the Little Rascals. What are you trying to say? Wesley?
The Widow Wascals.
The Little Rascals.
Makes my head warm. What are you talking about?
With alfalfa and Spanky, is that what?
Yeah,
Spanky.
Spanky or alfalfa? I don't know.
Spanky sounds fun.
Yeah.
Got Hicksville in the house.
Sinner.
Hicksville.
Facebook user, we're having a little trouble getting your ID.
Yeah.
They're bringing the winter special over to FMC immediately after the Kickstarter closes. I do believe that might be Mr. Wheeler then. Because I think the winter special is the Comics Unlimited magazine that they're doing. I think that's what I think that's who I'm talking. Who that is? I think that launched today. Glenn Fleming ordered a set of Dr. P.H. Martin's.
Oh no, it's Glenn.
Dr. Martin's dies, yeah.
Nice.
Tuesday, you'll love him. Coming
As
next
against
week.
the boots.
Vibrant artwork. That's very true. It's all good.
I
Get him
can't
in a little
watch this
eyedropper.
stream.
Yeah.
AGE Comics. Paul's in the house. Welcome.
It's all good, Glenn, as long as you know how to eat your burritos backwards. It's all
Comics Illustrated. There we go. Yes, it's mine.
good. Comics.
Hey.
We might pull that up and look at that today. Show what they're doing over there. I think Piper is a contributor to that magazine, so that's neat. Piper's getting out there and doing some additional things. So, Pedro, how was your week, man?
Oh, dude, it's awesome. My country is no longer on fire, so that's good.
Well, that's a positive, yeah.
Yeah. We stopped a copper mine from operating in Panama. Like it was declared, the contract was declared unconstitutional. So we're starting the process to get them out. So yeah, we're really happy. And I've been inebriated since the ruling, and that was on Tuesday.
Nice.
So yeah, good time.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. Buttered sausage. It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Sausage.
I'm pretty sure that's a deep fake. That has to be a deep fake. There's no way he could be that erratic.
Oh yeah, it's a deep fake.
That Canadian thing, those mines are our fault, right? It's a bunch of Canadians over there messing around.
Oh no, First Quantum, like the company, like the home base is in Canada, but they're a multinational. Like China's in there. There's several people that we don't want them here. Screw them. Like it's like an open sky mining, dude, polluting everything. And it's one of the reasons why the canal has it's like lacking water right now. It's that mine. Yeah. So yeah, screw them.
That sounds unfortunate, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. No, it's all right. They're out. The families are really happy. Yeah. Like, we closed down the country for 38 days. And there was like massive protests.
The people spoke and they had to listen. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
That's awesome. A good thing. Especially when you can stand up against corrupt government.
Yeah.
Maybe we can take some of that same spirit and get something accomplished here. We have some corrupt government. I don't know if you've noticed. Just a little bit.
Sorry, it's hard not to, really. if you don't see government is corrupt, you've obviously got your head up your own backside.
You'd be surprised how many people do.
They're everywhere.
So, guys, we have a lot of news to cover today. And this is going to be fun, okay? I just don't even know where to start. So, I think I'm going to start with...
one article at a time.
Yeah.
Farthest back. Let's start.
Well, I don't really want to do that. I like being a little more...
topical?
Yeah, like I like to keep things kind of in a row.
Water under the bridge, you know.
We lost Pedro.
We lost Pedro. That's all right. We'll get Pedro back. So
somebody was.
Here we go. It's time to read the news, folks.
Oh, that was disturbing.
Right there you go. A little bacon
swinging around on the bacon. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm confused now.
We did that. That just happened, Russ. That just happened. All right, so we'll start here. TCG player. Authentication Center Union holds informal headquarter picket, alleging union busting. All right, so TCG is a tabletop card game player.
I have actually never heard of that.
Yeah, I had never heard of these guys either.
Is that a union for the players or for the people that make the stuff up?
I haven't heard of them either.
TCG Union CWA, the union formed by TCG Players Authentication Center, workers earlier this year. The workers of the Authentication Center. I didn't even know this was a thing that was a thing.
You're leading us down a very unknown path this morning.
I didn't even know that this was happening. I didn't realize that there was all of this structure to a card game.
I have no idea who even this card game is.
They held an informal picket of the TCG player headquarters.
That was
in
really
Syracuse,
informal.
New York on November 29th.
Yep.
Of all days, 2023. The workers' informational picket served as a warning to eBay, TCG Players' parent company.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know what they are.
To end
now.
its alleged stall tactics and meet the union at the bargaining table in good faith, according to statements on the union's X, formerly Twitter. I hate saying the X. It's still Twitter.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes.
What is an informational picket?
Hey.
Well,
it's where they protest. They're not really on strike, but they're carrying picket signs with information on it.
Yeah, with facts.
With facts and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so an informational picket is a public demonstration by a labor union for the purpose of informing the public about a matter of concern to the union.
But doesn't actually stop someone from going to work.
Doesn't do anything.
No, doesn't do anything.
No.
Just tries to spread awareness.
And I found out what TCG is. They're sort of like a card selling website that sell other like Pokemon, Magic cards, etc. They're just like a store.
It's a store.
Like a middleman.
They're an eBay store, is what it is. It's an eBay store. That's why they're warning eBay here.
Right.
Since then, the union has repeatedly claimed on social media that eBay was dodging the union's attempts to bargain in good faith. Today, TCG Union's ex-post on the informal picket said, "Today we held an informational picket outside of at TCG Player Syracuse HQ to demand eBay stop union busting."
What's union busting?
I'm sorry. I'm from Flint. We're the home of the UAW, start of the middle class. I've got green signs all around the neighborhood talking about such great origins of the union here. What this actually is eBay hasn't looked at the bottom of their shoe yet and gotten to the email that they've noted as being unnecessary and actually talked back to these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, informational picket sounds like there's like tea and cookies and stuff. Like,
I
sounds
thought-
very
Oh my
passive.
goodness.
I thought all the unions were from like 1970s UK and Poland. I didn't realize you guys had so many unions.
1936.
Unions for everything.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa, see?
Yeah. Up here in
God.
Flint. Yeah, good old Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah.
We have unions for everything,
Didn't
Need
it
to look at the
disappear?
Hoffa,
including
the
a
Hoffa movie.
website
Yeah.
to sell card games.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, yeah. So,
Hey, we got some eBay. We got some store site here that's got a union that wants
A
to
union.
talk to us, and eBay's like going, "We got
Who the
time
hell
for
are you?
that?
I actually
We actually
No.
got time for this."
I actually just recently unionized
Oh my
Loopstone
God.
Studios.
Nice.
It's one employee.
It's one employee. It's you against you.
It's you. It's me against
Yeah,
me.
it's you against
Nice.
you.
Oh, dude! Like my favorite union is the Screen Actors Guild, because they don't want to call themselves Film Actors Guild, and I just love that, because there will not be
films-
SAG anymore. Yeah,
Film's
exactly.
passe now anyway. It's just
Yeah.
you watch everything on a screen. So there's Screen Actors.
Exactly. Screen
Yeah.
Actors Guild. No, they don't. They did that because
Trying to
it
trying to
will
cover
be
all the
SAG.
bases and describe
Yeah.
themselves at the same time. They're SAG.
Yeah, say that with an F though. What would it say? They don't want to be like, I'm part of. Yeah. I don't want to be part of. Yeah, that. No, I'm a Screen Actors Guild.
Last thing I want to be in a bedroom is a SAG member. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we asked TCG Player for a comment on the picket and received the following statement. Today, the Communications Workers of America, or CWA, coordinated informational picket activities outside our headquarters involving some of our AC team members
Larry's
of non-TCG Player Union supporters. We respect the right of team members to engage in lawful protest and remain committed to reaching an agreement with the CWA that allows us to retain and attract talented team members. Positions TCG Player for future growth and success,
agree, Russ.
and allows us the flexibility necessary to meet our customers' needs. Was that a statement at all? What did they?
Okay.
how many employees does this company have? It's a freaking card selling website.
Sounds like 5.
Notice us.
Please
notice us.
No, you know what? If there's no tear gas involved, I don't want to know it.
They got covered in ICV 2, so
Yeah.
they got
Well,
somebody's ear. Guess
Yeah.
we're spending
wait, is
minutes
this
reading this
sponsored?
thing, so I
It's a
guess they got
union. No,
our
it's not
attention. Good luck.
But anyway,
Good luck.
they're fighting eBay. Something will happen.
Oh,
and
yeah.
something will happen.
Yeah, that's
Something will
the same
happen.
thing as the union over at Kickstarter. Anyway,
Yeah.
oops.
There you go. Critical Kit goes exclusive with GTS distribution.
Why aren't we
Distribution of their solo
covering
and
comics
multiplayer
here?
RPGs. They don't have comics anymore on there.
Do
Yep.
they? They don't. They're just not comics.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Comic.
Critical Kit LLC has gone
Why do
exclusive.
these guys have Dr. Fate's helmet, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's very
Reasons?
Wow, that's a lawsuit.
Reasons.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reasons.
It's different enough.
How do we know it's not a bell or something?
It's a bell end. What it is.
Bella, oh, she got there before me.
Yeah. Ha, ha,
If
ha.
you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
Indeed.
Exactly.
Jack Busy Gary Vee is my spirit animal, man.
That might be a deep fake, but that is still wise.
It is.
The thing is that
Honestly,
the
that's
statement,
the wisest thing that was said out of all that whole interview.
the statements match the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
And that's all that matters.
Really, what's the point in if there's nothing there at all?
Yeah.
Because Critical Kit LLC has gone exclusive with GTS Distribution for distribution of their solo and multiplayer RPGs into U.S. retail. That's why.
And that's important to us
Thank
because
God.
because Critical Kit LLC is a UK-based dice and TTRPG company that was founded in 2019. So they've had a long history of making
detailed history.
I have a question though. Are there solo RPGs? Because that sounds really sad.
That does sound sad.
Of course
they have
there
a book
are. Yeah.
right here on their page called a Solo RPG.
You role play by yourself.
I will jump in the river.
I thought that's what social media and TikTok was.
I mean, aren't those for little kids and stuff?
That was OnlyFans.
Choose your own adventure books.
Choose your own adventure, yeah. But
Like
that's a choose your own adventure.
There you go. Yeah.
It's not a role playing game. It's a choose your own adventure. But role playing, like you're acting in front of nobody.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I don't know, dude.
Well, they did start by launching an array of dice sets.
Okay.
Yeah.
As most RPG companies usually do.
Speaking of dice set, here, let me.
I mean, go ahead.
Let's find this article right here. Here's a good one for you. Fanroll will release Rainbow Flag gaming accessories. Because pandering. Pandering.
They have touched the pander stone.
Yeah.
Can you
pander stone? Yeah.
Can you scroll up a sec? I just want to take a look at those dice again.
Just wants to laugh. Up. There we are. Right there.
I can't really read that.
Those are kind of cool looking.
They're not even true rainbow colored.
It's unicorn vomit.
Unicorn vomit.
The quality is
it's got
very
orange
low.
in there. Yeah, they're not great.
Are they the fascist rainbow?
Probably. Yeah. The
new line of dice and other accessories.
They're obviously non-binary.
Sorry, it says the new line of dice and other accessories is meant to help tabletop gaming fans show support for the alphabet community. The new dice set comes with 7 sharp-edged silicone dice in rainbow colors. The velvet dice tray features a rainbow flag to roll on. A portion of the proceeds from the dice and tray will be donated to Tabletop Gamers, GAYMERS, a nonprofit organization that is on a mission to make the gaming community more welcoming. What the flip, man?
So is the
was
loop
it not?
like? Can you add loop to that?
It's probably their own organization.
Do you know the best way to show your support for the gay community is to not care that they're gay?
Bingo.
Just, they're people. That's it. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. See you later.
There you go. Like the gay
you
guy
can use the same dice as me. How's that?
The gay guy that we used to game with, like, we never really mentioned it. And even when they would flirt with another male character in game, we just thought it was funny.
Yeah, why would you?
It was like, dude, you've got terrible game. You would never be able to.
You should be confident enough in your own sexuality that if a gay man flirts with you, you're just like, yeah, okay, no problem. You're all right.
I'm actually a little disappointed when I'm not.
Yeah, it's like
so we know you're straight. I'm like, look, it's like, look, like
that's one of the drawbacks of being a Latino sexual chocolate. Like,
look,
I do get hit on a lot by
it's a common courtesy.
Yeah,
to just flirt a little bit.
Yeah, just say thank you and flatter.
They're married. You're straight. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let them know that they stepped out looking good today.
Everybody's got to be gay sometimes.
You look
you got to be. Everybody's gay, a little gay sometimes. Yeah.
That's all right. I got you.
Man, everyone's gay once in a while.
Yeah, that's the ticket. That's the ticket.
Sure.
It's just like it doesn't matter. Please, it doesn't.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, man.
Nobody cares as long as you're nice and you're a decent person. That's the end of it.
That's the problem, because there's so many not nice and not decent people out there that are ruining the whole thing for everybody.
Amen.
Pan Universal Galactic Worldwide. Former Marvel publisher John Nee and 380W veterans form new company.
How many new companies have there been in the last 18 months? God.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to
this
form a
even
new
news?
company.
Oh, my
and a new
God.
And even
company
as we
in the
write
UK.
this article, 2 of their former employees are starting a new company next month.
I guess.
Okay.
At least they've got vowels.
Yeah.
They have
Finally,
vowels, and they have Conan the Barbarian.
That's a
Colossal
plus.
edition, one for the ladies.
Yeah, but this is kind of a grandiose name. Pan Universal Galactic Worldwide. Like, what? Exactly.
This is the best part. They're offering consulting.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Just what I need.
Randy, why don't you read this one for us?
Yeah.
Former Marvel publisher, never heard of this guy, John Nee, is teaming up with 3 IDW veterans.
Nice.
Former EIC John Barber, former financial and contract analysis Marion Copeland, and former business development manager Nate Murray to found a new creative production company, Pan Universal Galactic Worldwide. Or
Can I say it? Can I say it, Randy? Pan Universal Galactic Worldwide.
There you go.
Yeah.
Will hereby be known as Pug W. like the logo.
Pug W.
The new company plans to cast a wide net with comics, art books, prose, and RPGs and other games.
Just a thing here. That top paragraph. EIC John Barber, former financial and contract analyst Marion Copeland, and former business development manager Nate Murray to fund a new creative production company.
Found a new creative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Hey guys, we're gonna be
Did you
creative.
say, like-
Okay.
None of these guys were in the creative department.
Yeah.
No.
Former EIC from a failed company. Former financial and contract analyst married from a failed company. And the thing is, like, Johnny, it reminds me of Monty Python, man. Like,
Most anybody who's got a employment jacket inside the so-called mainstream world of comics have been associated with failed companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like that's
Anyway.
comics is just a circling pool of
Yeah,
failed
dude.
companies. It's
Yeah,
just how it is.
It's more like a toilet, more than a pool. But yeah,
That's all depends upon the size of your bowl, I guess.
it's
The
not a
new
circle,
company
it's a spiral.
plans to, it's same spiral. New company plans to cast a wide net with comics, art, prose, and RPGs and other games, as well as offering talent consulting and custom publishing. Currently running a crowdfunding campaign on Zoop.
Zoop of all things.
Nice.
Anyway, on Zoop for Conan the Barbarian Colossal Edition, 190-page, 11 by 17 tome featuring the artwork of John Buscema, Barry Windsor Smith, Gil Kane, and other Conan artists shot at full size. The campaign, which includes a retailer tier, has garnered over 70,000 in pledges so far, almost tripling its initial goal of 25,000.
Straight out of the bat, showing you what they're really all about by effectively utilizing the talent of people gone past in a book and reprinting it.
It sounds like, and I might be reaching here, that they had a package deal running over at IDW that they decided not to print of an artisan edition book of Conan by all of these great people. And they just decided to print it themselves and stick it up
to their
on Zoom.
credit. Yeah, to their credit, they're not telling me what is a woman, so I'm cool with them. God bless them.
They're not telling me why I would want to associate myself with them.
Yeah, that's lacking. Yeah,
It's like, look at what we've done. We've got this stuff from somewhere else, and we're reprinting
from
it.
some other people.
People love it, and we're going to make.
I'm sure the book's going to look really nice.
Oh yeah, but we're going to cream some off the top. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
they're creaming something off the top. They're not.
How do people get the rights to this stuff to take or
wheeling and dealing, baby?
I'm not sure what hoops they had to jump through in order to get this
They're
clear.
saying 4,315 backers. Do you think you'd have that many backers if you didn't have John Buscema? If you didn't have, those other Barry Windsor Smith? If you didn't have,
that's
Conan,
exactly why they have the campaign. Yeah,
exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like these people. What are they doing? They're just regurgitating stuff that's.
But these are
well, they're getting
Guys,
they're getting
And creaming
publicity
something-
for their project and turning it into an announcement that they've started a company.
They're creaming something off the top, just like everybody
Yeah.
is. That's what
Yeah.
they're doing. And that's what everybody does. They cream something off the top of creators who are actually making things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all the same. That's why I said at the start, how many companies have you heard start up in the last 18 months? And they're all started up by the same. But this is just like one big circle jerk. It's
Well,
just like in and out of each other's companies.
So next up in the comics, a series, Cigna, by Barber and artist Andrew Lee Griffith. The first issue will launch on Kickstarter January 2024. Pug W also is behind the successful Kickstarter campaign for Zach and Kelly Wienersmiths. I love that name.
He said Wiener.
Wienersmith's game. Wienersmith's game.
The game name is awesome.
Everyone else thinks the game is awesome.
This
The
game is
2021
awesome.
Kickstarter pulled in over $240,000
Wow.
from 4,315 backers. That sounds nice.
So,
2021, back when
mean,
everybody was buying
Everything.
tabletop games,
Not
and
today.
we were in the middle of a pandemic.
Not today.
So-
right now,
So if you're a
sales are
Wieners
down
Smith,
across the
you
board.
pour to Wieners like, wait.
Well, you should know better than anyone, Pedro.
Wieners.
Yeah, Wiener Smith. Okay.
You should
Me.
know better than anyone the inner workings of Wiener Smithery.
Exactly. He's an excellent Wiener Smith.
There we are. Wiener Snitchery.
Oof. Whoa.
That's
There
quite
goes
an
that safe for
accusation.
work status.
Yeah.
Me, the CEO of the company, is the former publisher at Marvel Comics. See, big company.
Yeah,
exec
failure.
on the move. He was president of Wildstorm from 92 to 98 when it was acquired by DC. Whoops. Just pushed out of a job there. He stayed on at DC for 10 years, leaving in 2008 as senior VP business development. He is also the co-founder of Cryptozoic Games. Barber, who will be the EIC of Pug W, wrote and edited IDW's licensed comics, including Hasbro properties. Again, pushed out of when they lost that contract. Before becoming EIC in 2018, Murray will be publisher. He founded IDW's games division and was head of gaming at Indiegogo. Oh man, that's why they're doing Kickstarter. That's why they're doing a Zoop. Okay.
Right. Yeah, they're not doing. I noticed that too. That was funny.
IDW's
That's
Nate
funny.
Murray moves to Indiegogo.
So which platforms are you using there, former head of games at IGG? We're going to be using Kickstarter and Zoop.
Stay away from Indiegogo. I was in there. It's successful.
Why aren't
The
you using Fun
co-founder of
Comic?
Clover Press.
Because of
Copeland has 27 years experience in various industries.
And floating, yeah.
Well,
Look, these
be the
guys actually
finance
seem like
diva.
they have a decent track record of work history. So let's see what they do. I'm
Well,
looking
like-
forward to the Conan book.
I mean,
like
all
it.
I get, like, he
Ish.
has experience in surviving, like, shipwrecks. Like, so many
Right.
ships are coming, and this rock
Look,
can
that
float.
is
Yeah.
that is not a skill to take
Yeah,
lightly.
exactly.
It's kind of like that scene in the movie The End of the World with Seth Rogen or whatever, where the guy's like in the hole and he's like, "Fuck, he's like, you're in the hole. Screw you," pushes him in and leaves. And it's basically what's going on here.
Oh, dude. This is funny in a sad way.
This
but,
is sad.
yeah.
I know Michael Golden charges like $50 to sign any of those editions because the artists get nothing out of them. That's terrible.
Mhm.
But isn't that
Those
how it
artisan
goes?
editions.
True.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost
MagicCon
like-
2024, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Also, Wizards of the
my
Coast reveals
policy,
new promos for show.
yeah, dude. My policy is to put money in artists' pockets. Like, I'm not interested in, like, this new company is coming out. Like, dude, screw you. How is the artist getting paid? Go ahead, sorry.
Walk announced the location for MagicCon Chicago, an event for Magic the Gathering, which will take place on February 23rd to 25th, 2024. The event will take place at the McCormick Place. I can't see that. Whatever center.
Lakeside Center. I'm sorry.
Lakeside Center.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
South Martin Luther King Drive in Chicago, Illinois. Along with the event location, Walk also announced the new promos available for the event. A new counterspell promo card will be included with badge purchase. There will also be new prize cards for the Secret Lair Showdown, an event which is making its return at MagicCon Chicago. These cards include a Spell Pierce, a Murktide Regent, and a Dark Ritual. It's what everybody always wanted, was a Dark Ritual.
Yeah, a Dark Ritual.
What?
Also, MagicCon attendees can receive a promo art ponder card for every $150 they spend in a single transaction.
I'm confused and scared. I want my
slippers.
It's basically pay to win.
Yeah, pay to win. And
if you pay us money, we'll give you.
Need a
these
pander
awesome
card?
cards.
Oh, it's a ponder card. Sorry,
Ponder, not pander. Ponder.
Let's get a pander card up there.
No, that's the pander card here.
Oh, that's a pander card.
Make it
pander card.
I couldn't
No, that's
imagine
off of the
going
pander
to
stone there. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine going to that convention now. Just be like a sea of blue
I
hair.
hate that game. Oh
It's
my
gonna
god.
be crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
Got
Awa appoints Dia
nice hair.
Cigar
cigar.
Sager
Yeah.
Speaking
as
of which,
chief financial officer.
It's cigar.
Has she
CFO.
got blue hair?
She's got nice
Yeah.
hair.
Purple.
they all have blue hair, Russ.
Well, I think the
I
blue
think
up
it's
there is
the
for the
lighting.
light.
It's the lighting, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
When I was a
light.
kid, your nan had blue hair, and that's it.
Actual
Dude,
light
she
action.
looks like one of my classmates, and I hate her. Oh,
It's done.
She could use a cheeseburger.
yeah, a couple of cheeseburgers.
Jeez.
Yeah, a couple of cheeseburgers and fries
Mm,
and a milkshake.
I
Independent
like
publisher, Artists, Writers, and Artisans, AWA, has appointed its first chief financial officer, Dia Cigar. Sager. Sager. I'm sure it's Sager. Sorry. She will be responsible for the financial management of the company and will take a lead role in mapping out business strategy, corporate development, mergers and acquisitions, and new technology initiatives. He's going to sit in the office all day with a calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yep.
Sager, who's been an
Someone's gotta do
MBA.
it.
Yeah. Sager has an MBA from the Yale School of Management. He was previously an investment professional with Lupa Systems, a private equity firm founded in 2018 by James Murdoch, son of media mogul Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, that chestnut. Yeah. That ray of sunshine.
Mhm.
That's
Lupa
not
Systems
bad at all.
and the television and production company Fremantle are AWA's two head investors. Before she joined Lupa Systems in 2019, Sager led corporate development and strategy at the TV producer Endemol Shine Group and has an associate in the technology, media, and television division of Deutsche Bank. And was an
Endemol
associate.
shine sounds like a process for your genitals.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Have you noticed how so much of the news about so many of these publishers, whether it's big corporates or smaller publishers, it's all about the execs, it's all about the boardroom, it's all about the finances and the money. And I know businesses have to make money. I'm not a commie. Okay, I do appreciate financial stability and the fact that people can make money. All right, that's a good thing.
Capitalism.
All right, because it generates jobs and it generates the finances for people to be creative. Okay,
You're absolutely
but,
right.
Oh, look at those abs! But all
It's a
all I ever
bare-chested
hear about
what's his
bloody
name?
comics.
Goldblum, Jeff
Somebody asked
Goldblum.
me the other day, why did I say corporate comics instead of mainstream comics? It's because of this crap. Okay,
Right.
Yeah,
it's constant, absolutely constant. Look at the moves we're making here. Look at this money we got here. Oh, this guy used to be an exec over there in that. I don't care. When you give me a good story and a bloody good comic, God,
There's very little being talked about
yeah.
as what's being made.
It's
out
because
there.
there's in the corporate area of comics, which is supposedly mainstream, there's bugger all being made because it's all rubbish.
Call that
they talk
rearranging
about
the deck
casting
chairs on the Titanic.
They talk about
Yeah,
casting
exactly.
of movies.
Yeah.
There's so much about games. The comic stuff is partly. Oh, they're bringing Miss Marvel back.
It's a foot. Oh,
course
again.
Yeah. God.
Huh. Iman
Anime in
Vellani.
your comment, you got some photos, some cosplay photos there. Milestone veterans Joe.
Illage.
There's a new graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
Crisscross. Crisscross. Jump. No,
Cross will make a jump.
Jumped crisscross.
that's what that is.
Like that,
Milestone veterans.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Village and
yeah.
Crisscross,
Ooh.
the singing group.
Nice.
Is that what
Go
it's
back.
about?
That's a very old reference, though. Those guys are like elderly men now.
Yeah, it's
Singaporean.
an old code, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah, it does.
There we are. Singaporean publisher, Difference Engine, science exclusive deal with Diamond.
What?
Somebody's not doing their research.
Yeah,
For worldwide distribution to the book channel and direct market. Singaporean
they-
graphic novel
yeah.
publisher Difference Engine has signed an exclusive deal with Diamond Book Distributors for distribution of their book channel and Diamond Comics Distributors for distribution to the direct market. Difference Engine focuses on stories by Southeast Asian creators, often drawing on local traditions and lifestyles across a wide range of genres. Their catalog includes the middle grade graphic novel Amazing Ash and superhero Ama, the story of a grandmother-grandchild superhero duo that mixes action with adventure and the reality of the grandmother's dementia.
Well, that sounds like fun.
That's
Oh.
yeah.
Deep.
Wow.
Sorry, that sounds depressing.
Wow.
Pardon me while I just take this bottle full of pills.
Can you imagine drawing that too? Like
Oh,
the
no,
guys
you
on it?
can't.
Yeah.
It's like a nail on, or it's like an egg on a nail every
But
day.
is she going to have a wheelchair that shoots missiles? That's what I want.
Yeah, that's what we want to
Yeah.
Now
know.
that
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that is
And transform into their humor relief mascot. There we are. Or Jeff Goldblum. Absolutely.
let's get back. To,
Beefcake Doctor Ian.
let's get
Mel.
back to that one.
Man, everyone's gay once in a while.
I don't know. I'm not getting
That Hansel's so hot right now. That Hansel's so hot right now. That Hansel's so hot.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Why is Jeff Goldblum sitting there like that? What's that all about?
Beefcake Dr. Ian Malcolm redefines oil slicked
Whatever
card
he's
treatment
offering,
in
I
Magic
don't want it.
the Gathering Secret Diversary.
Secret Versary. Super drop.
Super drop.
Making words up as we go along.
At least it's not a runny egg in a nail.
We're just making crap up this morning, man.
It just never ends.
This is like, it's like, what is, I'm in like a bizarro world, I swear.
Next
to
thing
God.
you know, there'll be a crowdfunding platform named Zoop out there.
This is disgusting.
You get
I
different kinds of
disavow.
soup. You know, some soup in France you can eat cold. That's what I heard.
Like tomato soup. Yeah.
Oh,
Is it-
we did-
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but isn't this supposed to be a kid's game? It just
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're selling the chestless Jeff Goldblum.
Wizards of the Coast announced Secret Versary Super Drop 2023, a new wave of secret layers
just making it
sets
up
for
as they
Magic
go
the
along.
Gathering for pre-order from November 2023 to December 26, 2023. Magic the Gathering has just given a new meaning to oil slicked card treatment with a Beefcake Ian convalescent charmer card. This new commander can be found in Secret Lair X Jurassic Park. Dr. Ian Malcolm is part of the Secret Versary Super Drop 2023. Other highlights of this release include the previously announced Secret Lair X Tomb Raider and the showcase set for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. The following
So is a
sets will
Secret
be
Versity anything like an unbirthday?
pretty much
Yeah.
the same thing in my.
So the Tomb Raider one, does that mean they'll have what's her face with an oil
That's
chest?
I
Open
hope to
chest.
God that's what it
Like
means.
Angelina
Mr.
Jolie?
Goldblum there.
no.
Oh.
It'll have a
I
mustache.
doubt it. Yeah.
She'll have a mustache.
Yeah,
Have a
exactly.
mustache.
That's a nice
Let's-
touch
let's
you've got
just-
there.
And a chicken.
Let's just Jeff Goldblum's one of my favorite actors,
Yeah.
and it's not for this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in spite
Looks like
of
he's
this.
got a bullet hole there under one of his pecs too. So
Yeah,
he's
it's,
taking some action.
This is disgusting. In
It's
every
a lot
way.
of nipple. That's a lot of
Yeah,
nipple.
it's
That's a lot of
brown
Jeff.
nipple.
That's a lot of
That's
Jeff on that screen.
Too
right
much
there.
Jeff. Yeah,
All right, so dueling comments on dueling lawsuits. We love lawsuits. They're our
Yeah, we
favorite.
do.
It's the theme from Deliverance all over again.
Here you go, Randy.
From Forbidden Games and University Games. After dueling, near simultaneous lawsuits were filed in late October over a dispute related to University Games' acquisition of Forbidden Games. See dueling lawsuits. We reached out to both companies for comment and the suits that were filed against them because we don't have any news from comics to report.
Yeah, this sounds like a nerd fight.
We've been working for several months with our attorneys and several witnesses to create a detailed and accurate complaint against Bob Moog and University Games. Forbidden Games' Glenn Drover told ICV2 on Friday, October 27th, we sent a copy of the lawsuit along with a demand letter to University Games. We gave them a week to respond to address the issues contained therein. That's right, Whiskey. Their response was to cobble together a complaint which contains very broad allegations that we believe have no merit whatsoever. They rushed to file. They rushed to file it just after midnight that Saturday night, presumably. Sunday night, presumably so that they could claim that they were suing us instead of the other way around. We're eager to have our day in court to demonstrate which of our suits has merit and which one does not, and which one has been sewn up properly.
Yeah, my suit is bigger than yours.
Yeah.
This sounds like a nerd
My
fight.
suit's bigger than yours.
Nerd fight.
Yeah.
All right, so we have 3 different articles that we're going to look at.
Do they have to do with comics?
This one. They do, actually, they do.
Finally.
Can comics be saved? And so here is part of the thing that we've been dealing with. We don't have a lot of comic news because comics has been suffering to the point of there's not a lot to talk about. Numbers are bad.
Periodical market gets largely strangled by its very caretakers.
Well, let's.
If I was a retailer, I'd be mad too.
Yeah. Before we get into, a couple of weeks ago we read an article that was written by the guy that does
Phil.
Phil, Coliseum Comics.
Yeah.
Now, right now, across the board, even in crowdfunding, all of the numbers are down. I'm seeing more and more projects not fund on all of the platforms than what I've ever seen in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm seeing campaigns bring in far less money than what they did before. And I'm seeing customers walk away from creators that I never thought I'd see them walk away from because of their actions, their attitudes, or their inability to produce product in a timely manner. I mean, it is chaos and mayhem. And the worse the financial situation gets, the more the drama gets because creators start turning on each other and, because they're all trying to fight over dollars that right now aren't there. Which brings us to, we've been saying for years, and this brings me no joy to say that we told you so, that the industry has been in decline and we've seen it and we have noticed it. And unfortunately, what has happened, people started to leave mainstream, quote unquote, corporate comics, cult comics, if you will. And they started migrating towards indie comics. And a good portion of the indie creators out there have squandered it as well. Because what they want to do is they want to try to behave like corporate comics in an indie sphere rather than try to come up with a new way and change the game plan and change their strategy, which is part of what we need to talk about today is a strategy change. We're not going to have a solution today. We won't, but at least maybe we can spark some ideas out there on what can we do to fix this. And we're going to listen to what these 3 gentlemen, there's 3 articles here. There's 3 gentlemen that have articles on what they think on whether or not the industry can be saved. And so we're going to start with Brian Hibbs on his on his thoughts right here. In this talkback, Brian Hibbs, owner of Comics Experience in San Francisco, California, provides some thoughts on Milton Greep's recent. Well, let's actually go to Greep's first and read his.
Greep's column?
Yeah, let's go to Greep's
column.
column.
I haven't read that. Pull it up.
Here we go. Greep wrote this, so.
Now, do they give Milton credits there? Milton Greep, he's the guy who's running ICV2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Comic and graphic novel sales have been declining in 2023, leading some to fear for the survival of the medium. The current round of discussions started with retailer Phil Boyle's recent column, "It's nearly 2024 and I'm more than concerned." He argues that as comic sales find new lows, Marvel and DC have gutted an army of passionate retailers. He attributes sales declines to false bolstering of numbers through variant covers,
yep,
convoluted events, and incessant reboots, and character swapping, gender bending, and changing sexual orientation of beloved characters. Boyle also notes abuse of the FOC system, requiring retailers to FOC an issue 2 issues out, and highly variable variant programs that increase risk and make it harder to predict sales, a big problem for a channel that has to order most comics non-returnable.
Now, what's FOC again?
I can't remember what the acronym stands for. It's the whiskey pulled it up last time. It was the
remember what it was, whiskey?
I don't know. What was
it's like the forecasted ordering thing.
FOC.
Yeah.
Oh,
like you've got to project out what you think it's gonna, and you have to pre-order. Like
according to that prediction. It's like gambling, basically.
Yeah.
Much so. Yeah. Retailers are gambling 3 months in advance. Yeah.
A couple of days later, Mark Miller jumped in on Twitter, bemoaning low sales on comics from the big two, and also suggested that direct market is a couple of years away from complete collapse. Miller notes that the big two page rates for artists are a fraction of what my peers and I earn on those titles 15 years ago, plus a 2% royalty on sales over, broadly speaking, 50,000 sales. Almost no titles are selling over 50,000 copies an issue, he says. Ooh, you just said the quiet part out loud, brother. He says, making even that royalty percentage moot. He suggests a much higher royalty rate on sales over 60,000 copies, incentivizing top creators to work on top books because of the potential for more higher royalty payments. They're both really talking about two things: the survival of superhero comics from Marvel and DC, and the survival of comic stores. Those two things have been strongly linked historically, but don't have to be.
So FOC is a final order cutoff.
Okay. Yeah.
I took a look at what's been happening
over comics, but go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. As an example of what Phil was talking about, I do have something I want to show you guys. So here's some panels from latest Marvel comic book.
Oh, God.
This is yeah. Okay. So
is anybody paying attention to these interiors?
Yeah.
Well, they look like they're traced straight over photographs.
Yeah, that tree behind, I suppose that's Mystique. I don't know who
that could be a filter. That looks like if you look at the background, that's a Photoshop filter.
Yeah, dude, and the perspective is all over the place. Like, there's no spatial reality.
There's nothing wrong. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using Photoshop filters. There's nothing wrong with using the tools to hand, but using them badly to fill in where you've got no creative impetus is not a good thing. It just takes down the quality of the product.
So this is Mystique. So we made a baby, just her and me.
Oh, okay.
And here it is.
So this
she's
is
in bed with a woman. She's in bed with a woman. You want us?
Okay.
You want us to? Yes. And then here's a picture of these two women with Nightcrawler as a baby.
Oh.
Is that canon? Nightcrawler is Mystique's daughter, son.
Mystique's
Yeah,
son.
son,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been
Has
canon
been
for
for
a
a
I
long
didn't
long
know
time.
that.
Yeah.
Claremont
I didn't know
established
that. I didn't know that.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
Sabretooth, isn't it? I thought it was
Yeah,
Sabretooth.
Claremont
I
established
don't-
that quite a while
yeah.
back.
All right.
I
Okay,
don't know
didn't
how Nightcrawler identifies this, so I'm not gonna say he's her son. I have to stick with Nightcrawler first. so
I
we
always
can
thought it
determine
was. I
how
always
he
thought
Well,
identifies him.
well, Claremont had the idea and gave that. He put it in his books, and I think Shooter axed it. I think
Both
Shooter
of them
said,
are
"No,
blue.
we're not doing that."
That not
well,
doing
that'll do
what?
it.
Making Nightcrawler Mystique's son?
Right? Yeah.
No, they were running with that last time I knew.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, they.
Of course, I haven't read the books. I haven't read X-Men in a long time, so.
My question is how?
Yeah, I
How
mean,
could they have produced?
Test
Well,
tube.
a
she's
child?
not
When a
binary.
man and a woman fall in love, they
Yeah.
the birds and the bees, man. That's how.
Isn't it gravy basters?
Come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, you know,
Near
they
my
can do.
God, to
I
thee.
have to say, you know, having a laugh aside, fine, whatever. You know, have a same gender, same sex couple, whatever, and having a baby,
Yeah.
fine, no problem. I don't care about that
Yeah.
aspect of it. That is part of modern life, okay. But
Yeah.
I'm just looking at how badly it's drawn.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's
it
horrible.
comes down to
Azazel
production,
is supposed
and it
to
comes
be
down to
Nicholas Pop.
it comes down to films as well. Like you can like or dislike a film for whatever it might have in it, or a book or whatever, whether that be ideology, politics, or none of the above. Okay, but if it's written well, it's amazing what you can mask.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just make good content.
That's why
And
I
they're not.
only work on books that are well written
Yeah.
to cover up my insufficiencies.
No, you work on books that are well written because that's what you want to be part of and what you deserve to be part of.
Exactly.
You know,
I'm like, well, the art is shite, but it's really well written. Thank you. That's how I get paid. I didn't have a problem with the art as much as someone who's as skilled as you would be, right?
Well, thank you very much. It's
But
not
I-
it's not about skill. It's about how much effort everybody's putting in. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure that
Exactly.
artist, if given the right time or given the right impetus, could create great work. Okay, but they're just taking all the shortcuts because probably they're paid a pittance. And probably they're being editorialized to go in a certain direction. I mean, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here, but it's
I'll be
like that
really-
for so many corporate comics at the moment. They just don't produce a good quality.
I
of
will
work.
be really, really honest with you. If I got that script, I would not put my heart into it.
Yeah, well,
It would be a paycheck.
I mean, yeah. If I get that script, I will
been there.
demand that they put Alan Smithy.
There's nothing about that would
As
make
the
me
artist.
passionate about telling the story.
Says Gordon says that Mystique is a shapeshifter, not a seahorse.
Exactly. I showed my daughter those panels this morning. She goes, "I thought just the outside changed, not the inside." Like, I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. Apparently." So which one of them had the baby?
Good question.
Right? You know, and this is on the backs of Doctor Who, pretty much bringing David Tennant back just to crap all over him.
Yeah.
And pretty much saying that non-binary is a result of the Doctor, like, and it's the superior way to be. You know, non-binary is primo, baby. It's like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. And then that nonsense with the rocket launcher in the wheelchair. Oh my gosh.
I mean, they're paying in the ratings though, so I mean, I just say like let them die, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, but they've
With their
killed
message.
so many amazing
Yeah,
franchises.
but the thing's like, like if there's gonna be an opportunity to like hold it all down, clean it up enough to bring it back, maybe not. Like I don't care. They are on the last legs of their exert of power, destroying everything because nobody wants this. And it's seen and nobody going to the movies, nobody buying their comics, nobody buying their games, people reacting negatively to everything they say. So, I mean, this is like, we're at the end, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
I love what Ken B
They're
says
just
here.
doubling down.
He said, so they wrote out that Nightcrawler has an actual dad.
Mhm.
I mean, what's it say that they look at Kurt and said, nope, not straight out of hell enough with this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what we got. Yeah, pretty much. Sad things. Yeah. Never mind. His dad was a demon and his mother was Mystique. Now now you got two moms.
We can make it more horrible.
And next thing you know, they're going to make him not Christian anymore.
You see, that's the testament to the low quality, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the fact that when you talk about canon being rewritten, it's normally just rewritten so the person that's rewriting it can get their way. It's not actually doing it for a good reason. So
because the merit. But the thing is, like, the merit is in the message, not in the quality, not in the artistry, not in the good writing. It's in the message.
You have the trope that is every bad writer, just a sci-fi writer, relies on time travel to work it out and ends up making more problems than they solve. Okay. And it's exactly the same way when you go into any kind of current story and go back and retroactively change the canon in some way. Okay. What happens is you create more problems than you're solving, and it ends up deteriorating a whole product.
I love a multiverse when it's done well. I hate it because it's a trope that most people use when they have no creativity.
Yeah, when
I love a good time travel. I love a good time travel plot when it's done well. Unfortunately, a lot of people use it as a lazy way to get out of dealing with their plot holes because they're not good at telling stories.
Yeah. But look at Back to the Future. That didn't use time travel to get out of a problem. It used time travel as a central core to its story and was cleverly written.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
I have time travel in hybrids, but it doesn't get them out of a problem. I did create a paradox with it intentionally that I'm going to deal with later on.
Multiverses are cool, man. You can do Mortal Kombat had their whole like different realms, like Outworld. That was done really well. It wasn't the same dude in one realm to the next, and they had time travel in addition, and also handled that well.
So in the last arc of hybrids, we find out that Trashman and Chlorine's daughter Diamond comes back in time to tell them that they need to save Molly Rayner. That the only way that they can survive this encounter with Azazel is to save her. But she's already dead. So they have to find a way to undead her, right? Which it just so happens that there's a way that can happen. Not an easy way, but a way nonetheless. And through this character, Molly Rayner, who is known as the Necromancer, has the ability to... She's kind of a basic healing druid, right? Or whatever. But has an ability to open up portals into the afterlife. And so in order for us to tell the story of Lifeline, we need this character to kind of create this opportunity, and so we send a character from the future back to tell them that you've got to save this person, and oops, they're already dead. So you got to figure out how to do that, which then is going to change the entire timeline in the future because, well, they didn't get to Molly in time, right? So they had to, so Molly had to siphon off her power, had to siphon off of Trashman's power, which made her way more charged than what she should have been. So what kind of problems is that going to cause in the future with this character that is neither good or bad? They're very neutral in who they are. So it's like
but that's a well thought out plot. That's not use time travel so we can bring back a character and make money out of it.
Exactly,
it's a completely different thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's literally been the plan since day one.
Yeah, well written, thought out.
Yeah, so it's like because there's another story I'm going to tell called Armageddon Watch that has these other characters in battling alternate timelines because of every choice creates a new option, right? And it just a little bit like the Butterfly Effect. I loved that movie.
Yeah,
it was so well done, and it just jacked with your brain so much that every attempt to make things better made things worse, and that sometimes the best option is just to leave it alone, just to let it be.
Yeah.
And I think there's a really cool moral story in that.
There's something to be said there for comics as well. Just leave it alone.
Yes,
Yeah.
just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah.
Just
So-
I
leave
mean,
it alone.
I don't deal with time travel in my stories because I'm a Latin American and I can't afford it. But yeah, it's just,
Comics today always screw things up. They always have to have some moral lesson about the true meaning of Christmas.
yeah, the message.
just-
that
yeah.
message.
Panderstone.
Exactly.
Panderstone. Make a lame, make a cake.
Yeah.
Milton
pretty
says,
good cut
I
list
took a
this
look
morning.
at what's been happening in the direct market since 2010 for my presentation at the ICV2 Insider Talks in New York at New York Comic Con. And the big picture of sales in comic stores in that period is encouraging. Sales nearly doubled during a time span when the broadest measure of inflation was 41%. But by format, there was a big divergence. All the growth in comic stores relative to inflation was in graphic novels. Inflation between 2010 and 2022 was 41%. Comic book sales in the direct market were up 40%. Graphic novel sales in the channel roughly 4.6 times as large in 2022 as they were in 2010. I bet most of those graphic novels were manga too.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you speak to a like 20-something-year-old, even like a low 30-year-old, and they all read manga. Like,
yeah,
it's a thing. Like, dude, like they damage so much the interior of comics because the covers look beautiful, but the interiors are trash.
Oh yeah.
And dude, like people don't want to read it anymore. It's just
well, they're focused
nobody
on the
reads that.
variant cover and the art piece to get that
Yeah.
book slabbed with. That's what it
Yeah.
is. That's their main audience anymore on the corporate side.
There was actually a comment on one of the polls that FMC ran the other day about fooder comics, just for fun. And one of the comments there was about a gentleman was saying, "Who reads comics anymore? It's all about the manga." And it just like people are more interested in the stuff, but it just highlights the fact we just need to do a better job of
exactly.
of saying, "Hey, there are still good comics, and they're right on fundmycomic.com."
Mhm. I mean, we have a titanic job in front of us, and it's that, like, letting people know that there are people who care about the craft. It's not even about talent anymore. It's about showing people that there's people who still care about the craft, and they're doing good stories. Like, you can open, and you're not going to be preached to. The art is going to be excellent, and the story is going to be amazing and fun. So it's our job now. Because these guys have destroyed that.
Yeah.
Did I kill the conversation with that?
No,
you're just spot on.
I think we're all
made a point.
retrospective right now. It's sad news.
I think
Yeah,
we're all on a mission.
Yeah.
No, I am.
What's
That's how
going
I
on
feel,
with
too.
superhero comics? The decline in periodical sales is relative to a decline in the popularity of superheroes as a genre of comics. I can't disagree with that more.
Yeah.
We do regular analysis of graphic novel dollar sales across both the book channel and comic store channel, and superhero graphic novels, which we define as corporate owned content, i.e. Marvels and DCs, and licensed comics tied to movies, TV shows, etc., represented about 14% of all graphic novel sales in 2022. I'm sure that figure is close to correct.
And
That's
what
tied to what we
percentage-
call author graphic novels,
Yeah.
creator-owned works, and legs, kids graphic novels, 26%, manga, 45%.
The trouble is they put trade paperbacks in the same bundle as graphic novels.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Right,
they're
yeah.
two completely different things. The trade paperbacks
really
are
are.
the expanded storytelling stuck into one book so that it works, and it's still expanded storytelling. It's
Well, with
still
that group
not
together-
very good.
With that group together, according to Greenpure, there's still only 14% of the market.
Yeah, well, I wonder how much of that 14% is trade paperback.
Well, that's what he's talking about there. How much of it is collections? Yeah.
Yeah,
They're kind of
collections.
reporting, Neff. They're kind of reporting.
ICV2 is reporting again? Yeah. No, it's a opinion column by Milton Greep on stating statistics. So technically, it's not really a news article. Validating the 2023 sales decline, our analysts, based on numbers from stores using the Comic Hub POS system, shows both comics and graphic novel sales in comic stores down 7% through August 2023, although conditions may have worsened since then. It's the quality of the superhero content that's killing them.
Mm.
And the fact that they won't go back and do mass reprintings on the really good stuff. There's just certain things that they go back and reprint, and that's it. Nobody wants to go back and actually search through these libraries, of which Marvel and DC have incredibly intensive libraries of back content that they could reprint if they wanted to. I've got bookcases full of them from 20, 30 years ago.
Mm. 4,500 backers on the Conan thing that we were talking about earlier.
There we are.
That wasn't
There you go.
No, that wasn't how many backers that had.
Wasn't it?
That was backers on the game.
Oh, right.
2021.
On the game.
I still guarantee you the Conan thing will have huge numbers.
Well, yeah,
Well,
that's
they've
because
made
it's
People are keen
classic
for the old
comics.
stuff. Yeah.
They've made 70,000 so far on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't make 70,000 without having quite a few backers, I would imagine.
See, they want to blame prices, they want to blame economy, and it really comes down to quality.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you build it, they will come. You know, that people are looking to be entertained right now by stuff that they can escape on, not stuff that they have to dodge all of the various levels of wokeness in order to read something close to a somewhat coherent story.
Semi-decent story, yeah.
Yeah. Greg continues, prices are higher, but if people really wanted the comics with high prices, they'd pay the price and buy the comic.
True.
Well, that's Marvel's philosophy right now, or DC's. That's why you're getting $9.99 on cover price on some of these books. And all the other reasons why people might not be buying superhero comics, competition from social media, from streaming, from anything else people can do with their time and money, are true in other countries or at other times, correlated with better comic sales. Anyway, like I said, it's obvious why manga sales are up. It's not because people want to read books in reverse.
No.
Right.
You know, it's because people want to get lost and they want to be entertained, even though they have to fight every time they try to read a book in reverse. You know, they're constantly being pulled out of the story and have to put themselves back in. And anyway, I've been in the comic business
One Piece
for
is
more.
popular for a reason.
Yeah.
Say what? Yeah.
One Piece is popular for a reason. Like,
It's easier to read a book in reverse than what you think.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Once you get used to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's not that big
what's
a deal.
up, Neff?
I would gladly do that for a good story.
Well, that's obviously the market right now. That's the way that the entire market feels. That's why 45% of the market are manga.
Yeah, Neff, they stopped publishing raw numbers a while ago, and yeah, they mostly focus on games now.
Because nobody wants to see those numbers. You think it's doom and gloom now. I was told off the books that however you think the comic market is, especially with the corporate comics, it's 3 times worse. And that there's a lot of product out there from Marvel and DC that are getting orders of under 1,000.
It's only going to keep getting worse for a little while.
As long as the product sucks, yes. It's going to keep getting worse. And even then, if they were to improve the product, it's going to take them a year and a half in order to turn that ship around.
There's a lot of work they have to do there. And
that's a ton of work.
You know, I'm seeing mainstream industry people that what they're trying to do is they're just trying to make manga in the format rather than look at why people are willing to change their standard reading format to read manga, right? They're willing to do that because it's good storytelling. It's entertaining. It's what they want. They're not reading it because they like reading the books backwards.
Or
That's
because
not
they
their
have an Asian
novelty.
fetish.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Or because they have an Asian
and
fetish, right?
ego.
Yeah.
It's almost laughable that they would think that that's what they need to do. So they just make a version of Superman that's drawn like that. And look, one of the things that we talk about all the time, like you mentioned, like, well, that's an asset. There's a conversation about Eric July's book, maybe using a couple of digital assets.
Yeah, like SketchUp or something,
in
right?
the art or something like that. Well, you know what? You know who uses it all the time? Manga.
Yeah.
There are so many assets that are used in manga over and over and over again. In fact, you can see them from book to book to book. And there's so many different artists that work on some of these things that they have to use those assets for those books to have some consistency, but also be able to put out things at the speed they want to. They respect the medium of sequential storytelling over there, but they do not respect their artists. Their artists are not getting paid well. Like, that's the other thing that we complain about here, not getting paid well. Well, they're not. It's like slave conditions over there for their artists. It's
as an assistant, yeah, you have a nice 4 to 5 years of slave labor. When you get your own title, then things get a little better. But normally, like a manga artist will have like around 4 to 6 assistants that will take care of doing the backgrounds and the buildings. Some of the main artists only do faces.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, when it comes down to assets like SketchUp or whatever, analyzing mangas, the school is the same model of school in all the books. Mm-hmm. You see, like the brick wall and then the book on the background is the same model. Like, and you get to recognize that. But that's the thing. Like, their turn up is weekly, I think, weekly or bi-weekly. Like, it's a breakneck speed.
They're doing a number of pages a week in order to be fit into the Shonen Jumps and
the truth is those assets are good.
Yeah.
Like, they're not half-assed. They're not afterthoughts. They're like, these are things that we're going to use consistently to make our work easier and faster and more consistent. And when you work that way, I mean, for each book that I work on, I create a number of assets that I use over and over and over again. That way I can speed up production as I get going. And it's just part of using the tools that you've got,
Yeah, don't confuse having a tool set with a lack of talent or a lack of focus.
It's not,
telling
it's
stories.
Not the same thing.
They're not
I do
the same
like how
thing.
Nev says that even with the bad conditions, they want to work. They want to do that because
they love the craft. Yeah.
Yeah. I see so many artists that don't want to work, but they want the prestige of being an artist. And I don't. I love the work. I mean, it's hard some days to be like, I have to draw this scene and I'm not interested in it. But you have to go past. You have to go beyond the.
That's what being professional is all about, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. You may not feel inspired to draw today, but you've got to draw today. It's you've got to do it. It's got to get done.
But not only that, like, I see some, and I'm not going to name names, but they don't feel as inspired to work on their paid jobs, and they drew a Batman and put it on social media. Like, oh, check out the Batman I did. Like, dude, don't you owe pages? You little, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that really, like, I don't understand, because I do see this as a job, and if somebody like puts their confidence in me to deliver something, dude, I'm giving constant updates, every day. Hey, this is what I did today. Or if they ask, like, I have something to show for because I'm grateful. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And you set up a work schedule. Like I know the things that I work on through the week. It's people that pay in advance get their work done first. And that's what I tell people. You pay in advance, your work gets done first. If you want to pay at the end of the project, we'll consider it a no deadline, and we work on it in between the other gigs, so that you can have some time with it. And those people get worked on second. The work that I do for myself gets worked on last. That's why there's no new hybrids books this year, because I haven't had time. I've been working for other people.
You've been working a lot. Like, what I do is like I destined like 2 hours to my work when I'm in a project. So I always have like the thing flowing, but I never like don't work on my stuff. But I do prioritize. Like, if I'm getting paid, like, dude, priority for the guy who pays me. But there's always like an hour or 2 hours I dedicate to my stuff.
Yeah,
and it's to work.
I can't even get to that right now.
Yeah.
But these people, I'm like, it's like a job. Like if I were going to go clock in somewhere, I would have to do that work, right? And get paid for that time. So you have to be professional about this, you know?
I mean, fan art is awesome and everything, but dude, like, there's a limit. Like, if you're really busy, like, yeah, dude, respect your client.
I can definitely say as a 3D artist, because a lot of the stuff I do takes a very, 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 very long time to do. That you have to, like, just you keep pushing, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
exactly.
bored. I get bored of pieces all the time, and like it is a small miracle I don't splatter my brains against the wall by the time I finish a piece because I've looked at the same image a thousand,
Yeah.
or 1,000 hours.
And from every angle, especially
Every angle.
when you gotta work on a crotch, when you're modeling a crotch, a male crotch, it's really hard for me because you're staring at it for hours and hours.
And it's just speaking to him. Wow.
I have some experience in the mainstream world. We call it mainstream or corporate world.
Corporate.
Corporate comics. Yeah, it's every project I've done, and there have been some that I didn't want to do. I assure you, it got 100% out of me because it was the job, and because I was very lucky to be drawing comic book pages for a living and not, putting down bricks and building walls, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. But I'd rather not do that.
Yeah.
I'd rather not sweep the streets or work in McDonald's or work in a bank.
If you have to choose, right?
It's like I am very lucky to be able to draw, especially this being my third career, this life. Very lucky to be able to draw for a living. The fact that I got to draw recognizable characters, whether I wanted to draw them or not, I was offered work and I took it and I got paid and I gave them the best job I could give them.
Nice.
And that attitude is sorely missing today.
Yeah, very much. We were talking here in the chats. Batman drawing is a like magnet, so a lot of people are trying to get notoriety on social media through drawing these other characters. So they feel like
can you go with likes? Yeah, can you go with likes to Costco? I don't think so.
No.
I mean, to be fair, once you get a certain amount of followers, you do get some kickback, I guess.
Yeah.
Look, I've shown very little art this year, and I'm 140 pages into one project that I've drawn this year. One project alone that will come out next year, and people will start to see the work that I've done. So next year, you're going to see tons of work with my name on it. But this year has been production. It's been about that. And at some point, you have to think, is my time better spent doing this fan art thing so that people will see my work, or is it better spent staying in the studio and getting work done? I think about some of these guys that I never see. I never see Aaron Lopresti. I never see Graham Nolan. I never see Kelsey Shannon producing a lot of stuff that's out there, and I never see him online very much. But then all of a sudden, here's a book coming out that Kelsey's drawn. Kelsey's got a Nexus book with Mike Barron that he's done.
Yeah.
That's getting ready to come out. Like, holy crap. No one even knew about that.
Yeah.
It's just, we're off topic though. What we're talking about is Neff was saying something up here. He had something he said that, he was talking about how the Brett Weiser deal went through, that Spencer's deal never materialized. Well, to be fair, that Spencer's deal was never real. That it was a lie from its inception. So the Brett Weiser deal did not work. He's thinking that maybe a dropship method would work better.
And the thing to point out though on that, who wrote that? Nefarious?
Yeah.
It's that the Walmart deal, the Breitweiser's deal, went south for a completely different reason. It's not that Walmart wasn't there. They had an internal problem that you really need to get into it. Go back and look at the problems that they had with that deal. It was underfunded right from the start.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know of a couple of other deals that have gone through Walmart. They've been looking to do their own comics because they see the profitability in it and distribute their own books for decades. I was associated with a deal that Gary Reed at Caliber was putting together and got like this close to having a Walmart book. In fact, I still got 2.5 issues of it sitting back here, literally gathering dust. But the Bright Risers actually made that attempt, and they did their best to deal with their problems as they came up. But they were the funding that was promised was pulled, and this guy did that, and that guy did this, and it wasn't really the Walmart corporation's fault on a lot of this. A lot of it was them.
I just don't think
not
there's
being able
the
to fund it.
money. I
The
just don't think
Spencer-
there's the money in direct market that
The
everyone
Spencer
thinks there is.
deal was a complete fallacy. That was a fantasy made up by a
fabrication.
what I consider a very bent individual that goaded and grifted us all into a false sense because he was riding on our dreams. And we were taking him at his word because he would seem to be an established guy in the business, or a person in the business at the time, and he really seemed to know what he was doing at the time.
No, the thing is, none of us have a Walmart deal. I
But
don't think we're going to have Walmart deals.
The
I don't
big,
think we're
the,
going to
the
have these
big
big
deal,
deals.
the big deal you need to point out here, though, is that the attempt was made, and they did get books into Walmarts. They
You're
did
all
have
good,
them
Neff.
there for a short period of time,
Yeah.
and Walmart's
I bought
tried
several.
Walmart's dealt with Marvel. That's where we got the whatever universe, the one that Bendis did, the one that Miles Morales come out of. Ultimate. That's the Ultimate Universe was all developed by a Walmart deal. DC was kicking out phenomenal 100-page spectaculars, though the content was bad. The printing, the quality, and the format were right there. And if they had bothered to print material inside them books that was well worth reading, and they did a couple of them. There's a couple of really good ones out there, but most of them were just garbage and continued stuff that they had sitting in drawers that they ought to have been ashamed that they were associated with in the first place. They're confusing outside the universe and just a mess of stuff. Sooner or later, and I keep telling people this, somebody's going to figure out another means of distribution to get comics out to the masses.
I mean, we're working on something, but I don't think that there's...
I did it for 10 years with my own newspaper, and I can tell you, the audience is out there. You just have to reach them.
Yeah,
because I was moving
10,000
copies of that paper in my county, and
yeah, but that paper
I got
was
a good
free.
readership after a while. Yes, it was. It was advertiser supported.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It was free, right?
Comics started out being 10 cents, baby.
They did.
That's how they got popular.
Yep. Our current model, I don't think that there's the money there that what people think. And
digital comics would have had a huge foothold if the retailers hadn't complained. If they had come up with a cheaper way to dispense that material and make it more accessible.
Well, Neff is right on the money on this one. The amount of books that we would have to print to be able to offer the prices that we need to offer and be able to satisfy the need of those locations, we can't afford those as individual small groups.
No, it'd take a major investment, a shift in a format as well, down to a cheaper format. Yep.
And we've got, and a majority of these retailers out there are mainstream or corporate shills.
That's very
They will
true.
sell
They've
anything
had them blinders on for 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot to overcome there.
There is.
We have to, in order to find profitability and sustainability, especially in a wavering market, we have to start thinking way outside of the box. And we have to start thinking in terms of and I have to go back to this kind of Mary Kay spinner rack option where individuals become the distributors, become the retailers and work spinner racks.
The thing is that those attempts have to be made in order to get this art form out there in front of the masses. They have to. They're going to have people that are going to take money and lose it. Well, look, we're laughing now at all of these publishers that are coming out inside the direct market, thinking that they're actually going to make huge sales. And with an ever contracting retailer base and distributors that might be out of business in a snap of the fingers next week. Same thing with the
and not only that, like our readership that's shrinking and shrinking every day because of their own action.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the producers. Like people are just flocking away from Western comic books and going to manga or whatever else. It's not going to tell them.
Before we move on to the next article,
they're going to go where the entertainment value is. That's where they're going to go.
Actually, I had a question, though. I think Russ might shoot me if I ask it, though. But what about a digital spinner rack? Since you're talking about the cost, getting costs down.
Get him, Russ.
Oh dear.
Let's survey our chat. Chat, how many of you out there watching right now want a digital only comic books?
You're never going to see it. You're never going to see a viable digital market. I don't.
How many
think
of you
would
would buy a digital comic book for $2 right now, or $1? Let me say $1.
I'll buy a PDF. The problem with digital
I'd buy that for $1.
Is that the thing is, like, they do this like huge infrastructure. You pay a subscription or whatever, and then you don't own it. You know what I mean? I do stand against that. But if they say, like, okay, give me $5, $2, whatever, and you download the PDF and it's in my computer, I'll pay for that. But Comixology and all that stuff has shown that it's you pay subscription, you think you own it, and then you don't.
In all fairness, piracy did that as well.
Yeah.
So if PDFs are easy to pirate, they're easy to distribute. You buy it once, you supply it many times, and so they want to have control over it. But the digital rights management has gone so far that you don't even own the copies that you have access to.
But Russ, hear me out. This is something to do about piracy, and I don't want to claim like manga is or north because I don't think that. But anime is one of the most pirated things in the world. But they make bank is at the 10% of the people who pirate manga buy the books.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that Napster argument, right? Like with the whole or Pirate Bay with there was a video.
Sharing, man. No, you're stealing, but
there was a video game a while ago.
I agree.
If man interject for a second, there's a video game a while ago called FTL, right? It was a 2D game about spaceships and you moved around. They released their content for free on Pirate Bay, and it ended up netting them one of the, like, instantly overnight they became a huge success, $1 million sales, and one of the highest grossing video games in recent memory for an indie developer, because they released it for free on Pirate Bay. Now I imagine digital comic sales lower, if you say, hey, you buy a book, here's a free digital comic you can check out so you don't ruin your book, or if you put them on like a lower thing, it might garner interest in the physical sales.
No, I absolutely agree with both of you. I'm not saying that it's not the case that that these things are that these things are wrong to do. I'm just saying that is some of the cause would be piracy. If I had, I don't know, $500,000 to invest, I would make some books and put them exclusively up digitally. And the only way that you could get them would be to give me your email address. And then I'd have a massive email list. And out of that email list, I could convince some of them to buy my books.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's a numbers thing. It's a numbers thing.
Yep.
But I don't have $500,000.
I'm having some
ideas. It's an incredibly slow and hard build, too.
I mean, based on this conversation, I'm having some ideas. I mean, I've got a catalog 9 deep. What if I offered a bunch of free PDFs today?
Okay, Ross. If you
what if I said for Christmas, you guys can have free PDFs?
Well, you offer them issue 1, maybe they'll buy issue 2 in hard copy,
Well, as I've been told by Craig and many others, issue 1's not a great representation of my current art style. And that the book has gotten so much better that even though the writing was pretty solid in issue 1, that the art is a lot better than it is today.
I did mean in general, of course, but
But I mean, if you need half,
you would almost have to do
I can get in contact with some people to get $500,000. I mean, they're gonna have to travel to Colombia, but yeah, I can make that happen.
you'd almost have to do a modern sampler.
I don't
And
think I
almost
want to
like
be
a
owing
catch-up
that
issue.
kind of
Yeah.
money
So
to those kind of people.
There's a few things that I do want to get back to this. There's a few things that Grape says in here. So he was saying that. So what's going on between the covers? Boyle listed a number of specific issues with Marvel and DC content, some political, but I don't buy that most of them are critical, and some of them don't matter at all. Good stories about gay characters sell. Good stories about female superheroes sell. Good stories about black and or Latino superheroes sell. I believe
that's the whole key,
but
though.
I would love
the
to
key
see the
word
numbers.
there is good.
Some of
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
exactly.
good
It has
stories.
to be good. It shouldn't
So,
matter.
I think
what
there's a
it is
very
I'm
general
testing
reason
on.
why Marvel and DC aren't selling. They aren't very good. I had
There
a
we
rule
go.
when I was in distribution, and it was good is as good sells. That means the definition of a good product is that when you expose it to an audience, it sells. That's not happening with Marvel and DC. So my definition, they're not so by definition, they're not very good. The why is a bigger question. With a lot of theories, first of all, it's hard to produce great comics or any kind of great entertainment. It is very easy. If it was very easy, they'd all be great and we'd all be rich. There are some periods when the industry is on fire with creativity pouring out of every pore. At other times, even though everybody's trying, the results are poor. So one theory is that we're just in a weak period creatively for reasons that we'll never understand. Another theory is that people
totally
are
agree
getting
with
their
that.
superhero fix from big budget movies and TV shows and have superhero fatigue. They're just sick of the genre or don't want any more than what they can get on a screen. I suspect there's more to it than the answers either of those theories provide. The talent migration away from the big two has been dramatic over the last decade, related to compensation and rights, with the situation now in a spiral in which lower sales produce lower compensation for comic creators, which causes good talent to leave, which lowers sales, and so on. As one tiny example, over the past weekend I started watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters, the new Apple TV Plus legendary series set in their Monsterverse, where Godzilla and other monsters live in a transmedia universe spanning movies and television. The series has an 85% tomato meter rating and a 90% audience score. It's co-created by Matt Fraction. Remember him? He created the best-selling Hawkeye series for Marvel and a bunch of others, which sold well as periodicals and then sat near the top of the superhero graphic novel best-selling charts across the channels for months. The first issue from roughly 10 years ago sells for $45 in VF Plus at my comic shop. Fraction is doing something else now. Even creators that have stayed in comics have migrated from the big two to publishers where they get more creative freedom and the chance to cash in at megabucks levels if their property gets picked up for a TV series or a movie. This is a solvable problem, but it involves financial and creative risk for the big two. They could compensate top creators in ways that make them want to do books featuring their most popular superhero characters and give them the freedom to play in those sandboxes in ways that reward them creatively. Another rule of thumb from my years of experience is that there's always a number. And I'm sure there's a deal out there that could bring top talent to top books. Do the massive entertainment conglomerates that own Marvel and DC care enough about comics to authorize that risk? That is the question. That's what I'm asking. We can only hope that the pain of what they're experiencing in those divisions now and the massive upside they could reap from great stories that start in comics but can also be told in other media bring them to their senses. Let's go ahead and move on to another article, and we've read most of this one.
I think the problem here is that I think the industry is the XX because their attitude is artists are a damn a dozen. So as long as they stop seeing themselves as the industry and understand that it's the artist and the creator, the engine of this industry, there's no solution to this. I don't want to listen to what an exec has to say about Superman.
No.
He can tell me about the sales of Superman, but the story-wise, what can he say?
And I
Stay in your
really
lane, bean counter.
The term superhero fatigue's really starting to become a pet peeve with me, because it's not superhero fatigue. It's a lack of quality that has spawned an apathy out there, where it's not that people are tired of superheroes. People don't care because the quality's not there.
It's bad story fatigue.
Yes.
Yeah. You can see that again with like video games and stuff like that, with like the Spider-Man video games, right? There's massive sales numbers, but as soon as they put stupid agenda in it, people have an issue with it, right?
And they're like, nope. They nope out.
This guy.
Is that what Ronan wants?
Is that what you want, Ronan?
No one.
Is that
one of those?
Yeah.
There
you go.
I'm
There you
sorry.
go.
I'm sorry. Let me get back to the article at hand. Here we go. All right. Go ahead, Randy. Why don't you go and start on this one?
It's an interesting read, but I think it misses a few key points. Scroll up. Scroll up. Down. Down. That's all right. Scroll down. Scroll down. First, on the creative end, even creators that have stayed in comics have migrated from the big two to publishers where they get more creative freedom and the chance to cash in at megabucks levels if their property gets picked up for a series or a movie. This is partially true, but I actually think that far more creators believe that they need to totally step outside any kind of physical middleman system, to crowdfunding, to Substack, et cetera, et cetera. It's obvious why creators feel this call. But what I think happens is that once you try to bypass the market, you lose or minimize your ability to leverage the small army of comic stores and staff. Once you've decided to publish first in some other way in order to get the biggest drink of juice directly from your biggest fans, my experience says that all that is left over, leftovers.
To remove that.
Everybody
for stores is leftovers. I could name any number of projects that seemed more like viable commercial books over the last year or two that performed much worse than I thought they would, because I believe they had been on Substack or crowdfunded or whatever. And as with all creative fields, you're only as big as your last hit.
Can we make a parenthesis? So what he's saying right now is that the artist is the only one who can't think about himself.
Yeah.
So he wants to drink directly from, and that's bad for the industry. What the industry is doing for the artist?
Well, this is the article Brian
this
Hibbs, right? This is the response to Greep's article, and Hibbs is looking out after his retailer.
Yeah. So no, dude.
Well, let's put it this way: you wouldn't have comic books without those artists. Well, maybe that's what they're trying to go to. Maybe they think, let AI do it.
Yeah.
Let AI do it.
I was thinking because I did a brief stint working as a retail a comic shop for a very small amount of time, and I remember an indie guy coming in with a really interesting comic. I wanted to check it out, but the store owner wasn't interested at all. He didn't believe that he could push any numbers on it. Nobody would purchase it. And this is long before the rise of
I think the store owners have to take a level of responsibility for what's been going on.
Dead on. Yep. Absolutely.
They can't just say, "Oh, the publishers, the books." They could have stood up and said, "Look, with the greatest of respect to the things that you're trying to push, ideologies, whatever, it ain't working. Let's have a proper conversation about it." But they backed off pretty quick.
We hear you. You don't like women. I remember that.
Yeah,
like it was.
And that's not what they said at all. Yeah.
Yep, that is what they. Yep.
That's not what they could have continued on that. They could have said, "No, don't misrepresent us. That's not what we're saying at all. What we're saying is diversify diversify your ranges by all means, but don't leave the current ranges in the bin."
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have said we hear you. You don't like women. No, you can't write. That's what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with hating women. It's that you as an individual are a shitty writer and nobody wants to buy your book.
I don't know about you, but I love women.
I love women too.
Yeah, so does. Mr.
I
Bobby.
love them in short bursts.
Cue the
Anyway,
keep
scrolling. Think the direct retailers can adapt to the market as it exists, retaining what's working for them in the periodical business while expanding their sales, manga, webtoon collections, kids graphic novels, and OGNs, original graphic novels. They can continue to win customers based on their curation, although it may involve fewer superheroes, and on the authenticity that selling periodicals imparts to the store experience. They can build community around creators and shared tastes and nurture a devoted customer base. And they can carry products from adjacent verticals to smooth their sales from comics, games, anyone. And Hibbs says, although I am now openly questioning as if anything is working in the periodical business right now, let's put that aside for a second and state that if you're running a typical direct market comic book store, which is half or more Marvel and DC comics, it is neither trivial or swift to entirely change the gravity and orientation of one's business. Many product lines take highly specialized knowledge, not only of the product, but also of the local knowledge of customer desires. One can't just start carrying manga or kids' books or games without building up a clientele over many years, learning who the players are, what titles will sell for you, and so on. I run a comics-oriented bookstore. I've spent decades building knowledge, customers, community, and we've always embraced a style revolving around curation, not only from me, but my considerably more contemporary staff focused away from corporate IPs. And I'm telling you, it's even a struggle for us these days as the periodical market gets largely strangled by its very and varied caretakers.
Well,
anyway, give Milton a read. Yeah, that's a retailer perspective. He does have a point. You have to build up that customer base over time, and you have to know that customer base. That's the real important thing. But everybody should be focusing away from corporate IPs and just finding anything that sells right now.
It feels a little bit like we've got a civil war starting between publishers, retailers, distributors, and the artists that work on.
Well, the real sad thing is that the retailers can't get coordinated, and they've been off balance on They've been put off balance on purpose thanks to their Diamond being such a monopoly. They've been in control and have been batting people back and forth and playing around. Every once in a while, you'll hear of a group of retailers trying to get together to try to make some weight in order to try to push the small or retailer associations or whatever to try to get the word out. But they always end up disintegrating from the inside.
Any kind of collective group does that.
Most collectives are like that, yes.
Exactly.
The retail shops would almost have to, in a way, unionize in order to push weight against these publishers. And quite frankly, they should have done it about, 50 years ago in order to keep them in line and to make them produce product that they can sell. But Marvel and DC have always, especially Marvel, have never had respect for those retailers. Never. And they've always gone out of their way to try to come up with the next device or grift that they can bleed more money out of these retailers for as little effort as possible. That's why they did multiple reprints and of bad stuff and over again. And the variant covers springs out of that as well. You know, just anything that they can do to put as little effort in to drain as much money out of the retailer, because that's really been since the 80s, since the start of the direct market. That's been the thought of these large corporate these large corporate companies. Their customer is not the reader. Their customer is the retailer, and it's up to the retailer to move that product off to the reader. They're only interested in the dollars that they get from the retailer. So if they can gyp them or cheat them out of the next big variant cover. You have to buy 100 in order to get one of these or whatever. That's what they'll do. And getting it onto the street, actually getting readership, actually getting a following to them.
I have a question for you.
It's never been their problem.
Is there like
that's the way they've looked at it the last 50 years.
Hey, Randy, hear me out. I have a question now. Like, is there like an equivalent to domestic violence in the commercial world? Because this is what Diamond, DC, and Marvel are doing to retailers. It's like a battered wife who can't leave.
Yeah,
that's basically what they are.
That's yeah. I can see your analogy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you looking at that independent comic over there? Be a shame if your hand got broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's more like Diamond going around to the publishers and going, you don't want to work with an outside distributor because we'll mess you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to retailers and going, you only want Marvel and DC product because that's all that sells.
It's like a mafioso protection racket, you know.
So true and so badly. Yeah, so much. Yep.
You love us, don't you? With the wife beater.
So you don't want to get your store destroyed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Spaghetti again? Sick.
Spaghetti again. Oh gosh.
Spaghetti again.
Yep. Sorry.
It's like so creative.
Yeah.
No, did you hear about the comedian that they tried to cancel?
Another one?
Yeah, for making a domestic violence joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and he was like, so he said, if any of my jokes have offended you, here's a link to my official apology. And when they click on the link, it takes them to a site that sells helmets for people with mental disabilities.
That was the appropriate answer.
I'm telling you, I was like, man, that is like the perfect troll. Like he just trolled the trolls. I'm impressed.
They probably all, I'm going to click on this and make it, you know, and then they get there and they just cry.
more of a tantrum. I see more of a tantrum going.
All right. So,
Brian Renzi,
based on your conversation, I just went and built a new sale at my website. All of the PDFs are $0. Just go over there.
That's the thing.
Just go over there and get them. Luke Stone Studios.
Like, I was talking with Ginge over what we're gonna do with waifus and kaijus, and I want to reformat the comic book to put little pieces of it, not the entire thing, but the little thing formatted in that like webtoon format, and give it out for free, so people can have like a taste of the comic book without like, okay, now you want the whole thing, you can buy the book. So let's become like drug pushers. The first sample is free, and then like we can get them hooked. Like, because we need something to get outside of the sphere of people who already like know what we're doing.
As we were talking about pirating, I would wish to God people would pirate my work.
Yeah, exactly.
because then people would be talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, please
steal my shit.
Steal my shit.
24 Hours says, if I opened a shop tomorrow, I would stock manga and card games and then stock indie comics.
Yeah, because you don't want to lose your shirt.
Wouldn't bother with any mainstream. Mainstream doesn't sell right now. I don't know how much I've heard from retailers that it's just not selling. There are retailers that are so interested in the Iron Age distribution model where they can take crowdfunded books that have been successful with a group and be able to have floppies for their stores. They love that idea.
Yeah.
They love that
the
idea.
only element is how to get at least what the stories are about out to people. And I think this, like, not piracy, but this, like, okay, little snippets of the book that people can get for free. Like, hey, check the story, you can get them, you can get the full thing at here or so. Like, we should come up with something like that. Maybe not put the whole book out, but at least like do like 5 pages, or maybe reformat it to tell the story. Like, you want the full story, buy the book, but you can read some of it here. You know, like, maybe that would be a way to avoid piracy.
I would caution against doing like a bait and switch kind of thing. If you're like, oh, here's a free book at the end of the book, you leave at the last page, right?
No.
But what I would suggest, though, if you're going to do that method, you do half the book or a quarter of the book or whatever, you do the digital version very, 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 very cheaply.
Yeah. You know it, Gordon.
Shall we continue with Chuck?
Let's
Let's
continue
do
with
it.
Chuck.
And
Do
this
it.
in this talkback, Chuck Rosansky, owner of Mile High Comics in Denver, Colorado, comments on the current state of the direct market. What might be done to keep it from dying? Says, after 53 years in the comics business, I feel I have a pretty good handle on the evolution of the direct market. Sadly, what I am witnessing today is an inexorable disintegration of the highly efficient, non-returnable comic book distribution system that I helped in no small measure to create so many wonderful decades ago. In some regards, I believe that this trend of declining periodical comic books interest is irreversible, merely reflecting the slow death of our core constituency, males born between 1940 and 1970, from the ravages of time. As secondary market reseller, I cannot begin to relate just how many large collections of prior periodical releases that I have been offered over the past 3 years from either the widows and orphans of lifelong comics fans or from those aging fans themselves as they come to the bitter realization that their days of indulging in their four-color passions have finally come to an end. To be specific,
that's depressing.
I
have
very, I'm
Chuck's
uplifted.
been in the business forever. Mile High is like the big back issue store, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I remember.
I've actually had relatives that have made journeys over there, like somebody going to visit Mecca. You know, Mile High. I have to go see it. We're in Denver.
I remember before Amazon, like I used to buy from my house by mail order, and it would take like 2 months to get the comic books down here. So I bought them in bulk, and dude, it was freaking awesome. So yeah, I remember like they had like a very 90s looking website that stayed there forever. It was like that. Yeah, it was ugly website, but dude, that was awesome.
But he moved product, you know. To be specific, I have personally turned down offers to purchase back issue collections that in total exceeded 1 million individual issues during each of the past 3 years. Given that we are at most 1% of the national market for back issues, Mile High is only 1% of the national market for back issues. Wow, that statistic alone should provide sufficient insight to the current and ongoing comic book malaise. The obvious solution to this aging out dilemma is that we need to have a new generation of reader collectors to emerge. In my opinion, however, that is highly unlikely to occur. The economics of this inexorable
decline.
I got to look that word up. Decline are relatively simple to understand as our baby boomer generation steadily leaves us and our replacement population of new collectors is much smaller. Print runs are in steady decline. For the creation of comics to then make economic sense for the publishers, cover prices must rise. With each cover price increase, however, another stratum, potential new customers are priced out of the new comics market. That being the case, I see no rational conclusion but to believe that the direct market periodical business is in a death spiral right now, one for which I see no obvious remedy. As regards to the survival of our beloved network of direct market comic shops, a great deal depends upon the willingness and, adroitness.
He's got a great vocabulary.
Yeah, dude, those are big words. Whoa.
Yeah,
he
retailers
from comic books.
To embrace other genres. He's not a dumb guy. Chuck's, in order to have been in business and build the empire that he has, he's not stupid. Yeah. Embrace a great deal depends upon the willingness of retailers to embrace other genres. Original graphic novel releases are certainly one means of satisfying the hunger of those who truly love graphic storytelling, and maintaining a large backlist of classic past graphic novels and trade paperback releases also clearly critical. I have even heard that some savvy retailers who are adding board gaming into their product mix with considerable success. Hey, whatever works. At the same time, however, I fervently believe that retailers who have fallen into the trap of only stocking those comics related products which are offered by Diamond Comics Distributors, Lunar Distribution, and Penguin Random House need to quickly begin to diversify their stocked product lines of reading material. Young adult publications and popular manga lines are obvious additions, but for us, that was only the beginning. To explain, capitalizing on the overabundance of high quality back issues that are currently flooding the market, one of our biggest revenue gains during the past year in our Jason Street megastore was adding a row of bins filled with our excess high quality back issues that we premium priced at $3.95 each, 6 for $20, 20 for $50. Those higher price points absolutely require that those closeout bins be filled with desirable issues as opposed to typical dollar bin crapola. But the payoff can be immediate.
So he uses like these big words and then he goes crapola.
Crapola.
But the payoff can be immediate and can also be quite rewarding. I ran the numbers after the end of our first year and was delighted to discover that we grossed well over $50,000 from those newly stocked closeout bins during just our initial foray.
Nice.
Fans love them, especially since we rigorously cull them once a month, repackaging less desirable issues into bulk boxes at 36 for $39.95. Those bargain bulk boxes are selling really well for us too. Expanding upon this diversification thought, I have been beating the drum for nearly a decade now, passionately imploring my fellow comics retailers to stop thinking of themselves as primarily periodical outlets and to instead think of themselves as pop culture resellers. By morphing into an enterprise that provides their entire local community of fans of every ilk with a means and mechanism to convert their individual passions back into cash, direct market retailers can greatly enhance their potential consumer base while simultaneously freeing themselves from the involuntary servitude forced upon them through the crushing weekly misery of having to cover their distributor bills. I can speak with significant authority in that regard, as over a decade ago, I owed Diamond nearly $1 million in back debt, while I now owe them nothing. Escaping the distributor debt trap is hard, and oftentimes the learning curve while trying to extricate oneself is quite painful. But I am proof positive that it can be done. I will conclude today's observations with an intentionally upbeat note. While the overall U.S. economy has been buffeted by all kinds of economic headwinds this year and conditions faced by direct market retailers have been specifically fraught, I actually see many positive omens for the future. To be specific, the current generation of direct market retailers leave me in awe at their adaptability in the face of rapidly shifting consumer demand. Yes, it is highly likely that we are approaching the end days of our beloved periodic comic books, but as I see it, that merely opens the doors for all kinds of reinventions and innovations. As regards to our own diversification efforts here at Mile High Comics, changes in our focus with that great measure almost entirely divorced us from new comics retailing have resulted in 2023 currently being on track to be our highest grossing and most profitable year ever in our Jason Street Megastore's history. That having been said, while I truly do love new comic books, living without them in the relatively near future now seems both inevitable to me and also quite doable. Times change, and like it or not, we all have no choice but to adapt to whatever new realities evolve if we wish our enterprise to survive. Above all else, I want to wish all of my fellow comics retailers the best, the very best, in good fortune during the challenging days to come. I have great faith in you and also in our shared futures.
Okay, so summary. We've got 3 people in the industry that says just right there. I mean, let's not even count the article from Phil a couple weeks ago and Mark Miller's comments.
And these are folks that have been doing this for decades too. Long time.
They think periodical comics from the mainstream are
dead.
That they're dead. That it's going away. They don't see a way to rectify the situation. That it's been raped and pillaged for far too long. So what is that going to mean for small publishers like ourselves or independents that are out there watching the show right now? What do you think that means if 2024 Marvel and DC both decide they're no longer going to be producing monthly periodicals? What does that mean?
Well, I think you're going to, if I can.
We're going to give everyone a chance to comment here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I sort of like a different, not comics, but what I know about the miniatures market is that Games Workshop is the largest publisher of miniatures in the world, or for gaming, right? They sell more than anybody else. When their company is doing the same stuff that Marvel is, woke nonsense, whatever. If their sales are up, the entire market is up, right? If their sales are down, the entire market is down. So it's even though they're losing customers hand over fist, there still drops interest in a lot of other areas of that market, because people will be like, oh, I'll buy some miniatures from Games Workshop. Oh, and now I like miniatures, I'll buy some other miniatures. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Yes, you're going to get, in some cases, if stuff is like, if people lose interest in comics entirely, like that manga comment we saw earlier today, or talked about earlier today, people might just, entirely not buy or the indie comic stuff, because they might think that there's nothing available in the market.
I think there's a lot of truth in that. Marvel and DC are the bellwether historically for the rest of the market. If they're doing badly, the indies suffer. The only difference, I'd say, is that now there are new markets. The internet is open for business, especially places like YouTube and what have you. You can garner readership. You don't need to sell 10,000 or 100,000 copies to make a living off selling books. Okay, if you're an independent, and you can move quicker, you can be more agile as a business for being smaller. And in all fairness, Marvel and DC don't seem, or the big companies, they don't seem to have tried to open that aspect of marketing on the internet. Okay, they just they haven't pushed in that direction. They carried on like a massive ship, massive liner, carrying on down the same direction they've been going in a long time, just adding little bells and whistles here and there, and wondering why their marketing isn't working, wondering why their sales are going down. It's because the market has changed. There is no spinner rack anymore. Well, the biggest spinner rack in the world is a digital one, and it's called the internet.
It's part of the reason why we've set up
with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of why we've set up Fund My Comic with the storefront options, the way that we have with the low 3% funding over there, a platform fee, so that people can have a digital spinner rack, if you will.
Yeah,
it's like a comic book shop. It's like a one-stop retail location for, for things that are being crowdfunded and things that are just up there for sale. And most people that are smart are taking advantage of that. Yeah. In fact, right now, the majority of our active campaigns or active books are storefronts. They're long-term sales is what they are. They've transitioned from a quick crowdfunding boost to long-term sales. And it's working for them. It's working for customers, too.
Yeah. The way I see it,
I don't
all
think
this
it's necessarily...
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
okay.
I just to finish off, I don't think it's necessarily a complete answer. It's just a point that we're doing things differently, and the meaning of the true meaning of madness is to do the same thing again and again and again and expect different results. Yeah. So at the very least, just try doing things differently, and that's what independents like us are doing. They're trying to do things differently.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what I wanted to say is that, dude, that all these 3 articles are offering solutions for retailers So us as small publishers and artists, like this is not a solution for us. I know what their DLC is added. It's towards an independent creator. Like I don't know if I can move it. Like it's like a power thing that when they make you feel like it's a favor to them. So I wish them well. They're part of the industry, but I'm gonna do my thing over here because I'm not gonna say I don't need them, but in order for me to get into an LCS in the US, I have to take a trip to the US and set the dates. My it's digital sales. I'm gonna sell like books online. That's the way for me.
As
And
Nev
I
said
do it
earlier,
smart.
in order for us to be able to maintain the demand for drop ship, I mean it's I mean, for those kind of numbers, we have to go off of even if we do go into a retailer, it has to be on a drop ship base, which is what we're doing on with Iron Age distribution.
Exactly.
Where it's a print to order, like it's on demand, like you want this many copies in your store, so we print that many copies and send it to you, and this is the retail price. And even at that, the retail price is still kind of high at $6 a book.
Yeah.
We try to keep that value there, but honestly, because of the low print cost and the low risk for everyone, the price has to be there for the customer. The price has to go up. And it's an unfortunate side effect to our current market, but I think comics has always been niche, and I think it's even more niche than it was.
Yeah, it's becoming more niche by the day.
And
lean into it. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Lean
yeah.
into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainstream is the death of things.
Yeah, if you can get a good solid customer base that you're talking about leaning into it, of like if the quality is good, you're gonna have fans forever, right? You may not have as many fans because the big guys are people are losing interest in comics. You're not picking up the impulse buyers, but the dedicated fans will keep you afloat on a personal level. You may not be a big corporation, but you're definitely going to have somebody buying your comic for like the rest of time.
Yeah, the thing is, like, to me, it's a numbers game. Like, I just want to get big enough where I can keep 10,000 people happy around the world. And dude, like, I'm gonna be covered for the rest of my life if I get that. So I'm working towards that. So I don't care about all this like big movement that who's selling more books. Like, dude, that's a fight for somebody else. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm trying to conquer 10,000 people and get them in love with what I do.
Well,
that's my job.
I think you make a really good point that we need to start focusing more on our own customer base and our own market than on everybody else. There are people that right now in comics, and I've been talking about this the last couple of days. This has come up that I think there are people that judge comics so harshly that it's like, look, this has always been it's always been one of those things where they produce the books quickly. There are errors. There's problems with it. Part of the charm of the golden age was the mistakes in there, and now we're looking at modern comics, like every page must be a masterpiece, and I mean, no disrespect to anyone that has the ability artistically to make every page a masterpiece, but those guys take ages to produce a single book. And is your customer base going to stick around that long for you?
Exactly.
Only a matter of time before they become apathetic.
It's a happy medium. You have to where you're like artistically fulfilled, but you can deliver on time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
And it's we should always strive to produce the next Watchmen, or the next Hush, or the next you name your favorite series, the next
Only Death Can Save
the next Secret Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but even when I read my Secret Wars, there are errors in those books.
Yeah.
There are still errors in those books.
Give them charm.
I love them. It's charm. I love it. And it's about the storytelling, and it's good. You overlook it because of the charm of the book, because of the heart in the book. And then, you have reports come out like the Taika Waititi, whatever his name is, that he never read Thor, and he didn't like Thor, and he didn't even want to work on a superhero movie, but he needed to feed his baby, so he did it. And you wonder why his movies don't have heart, because he lacked
He doesn't
heart
care. Yeah.
in it. You know, it's not that he's a bad director or bad writer or whatever. It's that he didn't have heart. He didn't care about it. Now, if you read the Jojo Rabbit or whatever, that was a great movie that he did. I thoroughly enjoyed that, but I hated his Thor. I hated it.
Yeah, well, the reason that was great was because it was something he was invested in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was his story.
Like,
It was, yeah.
And you're missing a lot of people that they're not invested in this stuff anymore. And quite honestly, these corporations, Walt Disney, Warner Brothers, they are not interested or invested in the publishing wing of these IPs. All they care about is the Batman symbol. All they care about is the Avengers symbol. They don't care anything at all about.
I would be surprised if they still know they make comics. Like, we still do that thing? Like, you know, like, it's like...
Oh, they know. They just haven't read the product.
Look, with the
They don't feel it's worth their time.
With the trouble that Disney's coming into financially and putting off all of the majority of their stuff till 2024, 2025. I mean, they're pretty much occupying the YouTube reviewers, the negative reviewers space right now.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that they're doing wrong. And I think it's a matter of time, as they're trying to cut cost and restructure, that they just stop publishing monthly periodicals.
Yeah.
I have a question. I got a question for the panelists here. What do you think is more important for your customers? Pushing innovation or pushing nostalgia?
Entertainment.
Neither. For me, neither.
Yeah,
For me,
entertainment.
it depends on what you want to do. If you're really passionate about what you're doing, and it shows on the page, it could be nostalgia or innovation, but it has to have spirit and heart.
Yeah.
If that's lacking, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
For instance, my art style is very much Bronze Age inspired. It's the stuff that I love. And there's a market out there for that because people like that. It's not the whole market. It's not everybody's bag. Not everybody likes it. But you're not going to please everybody all the time.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. That's the thing.
No.
If you make everybody happy, you're the one who's unhappy because you're lying to somebody.
Yeah, I want to find the people that do enjoy my story, which means take it for free if you need to be introduced to it.
Yep.
I want people to get on board with where I'm at now, fall in love with these characters, fall in love with the stories that we're telling, and follow me on my journey to become a better writer and artist. And eventually I'll get to the place where I'm happy with my art. I think that will be probably 2 seconds after I'm dead.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'll be like, you know what? I did a pretty good job. All things considering. Then I'm gone.
Got blood, yeah.
But quite honestly, comparing ourselves to others, I think hurts us in a way. Comparing what we're trying to do to the mainstream, trying to follow the same rules of the game that they're doing, and trying to distribute the same way and price our books the same way. And honestly, in some cases, even deal with our customers in criticism the same way. I've seen two major creators in the independent space over the course of the last 2 weeks. When criticism comes their way, they chalk it up to they're just a hater. They didn't even read the book. They just don't like me. It's political. It's personal. That's what it is. So they've deflected and blamed the customer for not liking the product.
Okay.
What does that sound like? Does that not sound like the mainstream?
Yeah.
Does that sound like corporate comics? How are we different? How are we any different? I think that if we keep playing their game, we're gonna see the exact same.
We're gonna lose. Yeah.
We're see the exact same end.
Yeah.
You've got 3 articles this week where there are people saying that the mainstream monthly periodicals
Corporate
is coming to an end. Corporate comics is ending. None of them have said in a positive way that there is hope. None of them. These are professionals.
That's it.
They've been doing it for decades. And they're like,
yep.
Yeah, it's there's no hope. There's no hope.
I think you just have to see it and say, well, that means that, in any time of upheaval, opportunities arise.
Yes.
I will say this.
That's it exactly. Yep.
When they stop producing monthly periodicals, they're no longer going to have corporate shills behind them. And those customers that do want to buy comic books and be introduced to comics, some will leave comics forever and probably never look back and have more money in their pocket for it. But there will be people that will look at independent options and opportunities, and they will want to get a hold of it. And it is going to be up to us to make our stuff accessible to them.
If you took the total sales for all the comics in the top 500, okay, total sales, as in each comic that's sold, and split that over independent creators, you'd only have to sell 1,000 each to make a salary. Can you imagine how many independent books you could sell, to equal the number that are sold currently in the mainstream top 500?
Well, none of these are printing over 50,000 units, right? Hardly any of these are. Maybe one or two kind of get over there, but some of these we know from an industry insider are printing sub 1,000 books.
Yeah, that's sad.
Mainstream comic.
Well, they're probably still printing 3,000, but they're selling less than 1,000.
Yeah, they could.
So you're going to see a lot of 5 for 10 packs or whatever suddenly spring up at Ollie's.
I know what the print runs for Scout Comics is.
Yeah.
They're not web press. They're not offset. These are digital comic books.
As an independent, you could quite happily have 750 customers and run a quarterly book.
Yeah, exactly.
Of around 40 pages, and make a good salary.
Yeah. Actually, with 750, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
You can have a sustainable business with 350 regular customers.
Yes, you can. Yep. But all I'm saying is, you want a comfortable living.
Comfortable living.
750 would be very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't even have to hit. You don't even have to hit the 1,000.
Yeah. My mother-in-law asked me what my goal is for monthly income, because right now I'm only sitting at about $2,000 or $3,000 a month for my personal income through my commissions. And I said,
I do need 1,000 because I have vices.
I said 20. I said 20,000, and she goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, my goal is 20,000 a month, but I'll be happy with 10." I said, "You wouldn't hear me bitching about 120 grand a year before taxes."
Damn straight.
And she said, "Yeah, neither would I, right?" But I mean, again, I'm probably never going to hit that. But honestly, if that's my goal, if that's where I'm going, you've got to focus on that. And it's like, so how do I do that? And honestly, the only way that I can bring in that kind of money for me is if I'm helping other people bring in money for them. Yeah. Because if I'm making that much, I'm employing people. If I'm making that much, that means people are making a lot of money through the services that I offer. That means the people that are hiring me to draw their books are making a lot of money. That means the people that are using Fund My Comic are making a lot of money. So for me, my goal is to help everybody else get rich, because that will make me comfortable. At some point, that will make me comfortable. And I think that also one of the things that we look across the board, people aren't seeing what the deficit is, right? I saw what the deficit was. 2 areas: direct retail distribution, Iron Age distribution is going to cover that, and crowdfunding and a generalized storefront for comic books for fans to go to for comics and games. Fund My Comic meets that. I also noticed that in independent comics, there weren't a lot of sequential artists that were working at a reasonable pace for a reasonable price.
Yeah.
That were also reasonably good, because, there's that trifecta.
Yeah.
Quality, how good is it? How fast is it? How cheap is it? And one of those, you get 2 of them, you don't get all 3. So how could I balance that with my workflow and offer that in this niche industry and be able to fill that need for people? I think I'm finding a way to do that, where I've got a good blend of speed, quality, and price. Unfortunately, I'm starting to come to a point to where I'm drawing some things at a higher level of detail and quality than what I was at the old price point. And it takes me longer, which would require more money, right? And so I'm trying to figure out, how do I transition or break that down to where, as I grow as an artist and get better as an artist, that people can get what I'm capable of doing in the future with higher quality because of all the practice that I do.
Okay. The way I do the animation, Luke, is that I have samples. So basically, develop an hourly rate, and you say, okay, at this quality, it's this much.
Yeah.
Because I mean, remember, when we negotiated, we did that. At this quality, it's this much. At this quality, it's this much. So that way, you show the client what you can offer, because they wouldn't know until they see it,
Yeah.
So that's a way that
detail isn't always necessarily what creates quality. It's just it's the flow and the beat, and you can create, just as you're saying there, you can create samples like, this is a style that I'll do for you at this price, and this is a style I'll do for you at that price. On that, I'm gonna have to go, guys. Sorry, I've got to rush off.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Thanks
me
for
too.
joining us.
I'm
We're going to be
really
showing
fun
off some of your work here in just a little bit.
Hold on. I'll turn the camera on and.
There you go. Wow.
Blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light. There you go.
Blinded by the light.
There's that one.
Ripped
That one's
up
just.
like
I just literally just finished that.
Ooh, and big in that.
Ooh.
Wow.
And big in that.
Dude.
beautiful.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's what's coming soon. Randy can tell you all about that. Sign up for the email list at russleach.com. There you go.
That is some of the
That's
best
what's
we can
coming
do.
soon. It's not doom and gloom.
It's not doom and gloom, but it is coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Thanks for having me on, Luke, and
welcome.
lovely to
Thanks for
see
being
everybody again. I
Hey.
will see you and the YouTube audience
Thanks for coming on,
Friday
Russ.
morning.
Yeah. Take care of that hat, Russ.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow morning.
See you later. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Take care.
We got a lot of good stuff over here, man.
Yeah.
This is so I just want to point out right here what's active here. So yeah, this is a campaign. This is also live on 2 other platforms. This is a regular funding campaign. Hojo's got 13 days left, and quite honestly, I said if he made half of what he did on his first book, given the economy and given that it's a second book, we would consider that successful, and I think he's been more than successful. Looking at that, he also lowered his prices a little bit.
Yeah, Hojo's doing a lot of things right.
Irene, this is a time-based campaign, but it's so far out that it's going to be it's almost like a limited storefront. Time-based campaign here needs some. The creator had some drama that set him off. 15 days, another time-based campaign. Anvil, time-based campaign. Storefront for Silence Do Good, which finally is up and running now. In just the weekend, and he actually missed the holiday part of the weekend because he missed an email. Able to make $454. A very cool looking book. That's over here on Fund My Comic. But a storefront. I mean, you're going to be able to get this book. And it's just... So he finally put up multiple rewards, which is awesome. So here's a retail tier. 10 copies, $100. $25 for a signed copy of the graphic novel. $13 for issue 1.
I don't know anything at all about this creator, but I did want to check it. It's on my list, right?
Whoa.
Like of books I wanted to check out, just because it looks like an interesting story.
Yeah.
Looking for an editor myself, and poof, he's gone.
And generally, I'm pretty particular about who I support or whatever.
Yeah,
politics,
we're gonna,
but it's just a good
we're
looking
gonna try
product.
to watch the trailer with sound. Do we have sound?
Yeah, we do. I can hear Vivaldi.
I love the art in this one. Ooh, nut shot.
I'd buy it.
I'd buy it.
That's awesome, man.
Very cool.
The premise is cool. I mean, I have no idea if the story is good at all, but I really like it.
Well,
I
you
enjoy
never
the
really
premise
know
a
until
lot.
you read it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, like, you get the pitch, and the pitch might sound awesome, and then you get like house for or something like that.
Yeah, it really does come down to, you know, the pitch, selling us on a book or not. Community service is on storefront now. This has got a good trailer.
Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet? Has to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. That's for me. Give me liberty, or give me death.
Nice.
Very cool.
There's this really cool cover. This wraparound cover that I did for this book.
Oh, nice.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, this look awesome. Now
Nice
I see all
one,
the
that
issues
black.
with it now. Like I see all the issues with it now. That I've
Yeah.
done.
Well,
Like,
Yeah, as an
I don't
artist,
like
you're
this, I don't
always
like
going to
that,
pick
I
out
hate
your own
this.
mistakes, man.
Yeah,
But,
that's a show that you're improving. When you say like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
That's
now,
always good.
It's like now I hate all of it. Like I
Yeah.
loved the whole cover when I first finished it. It's like, oh, I love this, and now I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Anvil, check this out. Anvil, this magazine. I actually got some work that's going to be featured in here.
Oh, cool.
But check this out. This is neat. So it's. I'm going to turn this down. We'll listen to it while we talk. This one has a CD with it. They're now promoting Iron Age music.
Nice.
So you could pop a CD in while you're looking through these comics and news articles and things like that. Here's what I'm working on.
I was actually at a point I wanted to comment earlier, but when Russ was talking about getting a good customer base going and you can make a decent living. At that point, you can sort of springboard off into different avenues and diversify the products you're offering, action figures, games, so on and so forth, right? Like, or even just hiring other artists and other to do other comics while your main line is going, and then you become you have more out there to sell. You hire a writer, hire an artist, and so on and so forth. So you have the numbers, you can get more stuff.
I love this magazine. The fact that we've only got 2 backers right now just ticks me off. This is one of my favorite magazines.
Are you one of the backers, Luke?
I am one of the backers. the best.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
What comics need is more badassery.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Speaking of badassery, have you guys seen the trailer for Lady Ballers?
Oh yes, I have.
The new Daily Wire movie, Lady
okay.
Ballers. Oh, dude,
Oh yeah.
That's straight out of Flip City, man. I was rolling on the floor, man.
I'm watching that trailer going, where is this going to be? Because it's not going to be on any of the regular streaming services.
It's going to be on their streaming service.
It's on Daily Wire.
Yeah.
They don't need any of that, though. These guys have a big enough network.
Here you go, check this out.
Is being transformed. The Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
Good on them. Good on them.
Whoa! Oh, baby! Oh, no! Dude, this is so wrong.
Guys, this is serious. Sports can be your pathway to a better life.
Well, like yours?
Please don't steal my catalytic converter again. Winning matters. It's the key ingredient in becoming a winner.
Maybe you should try it sometime.
Yeah.
Are you gonna move?
I am not.
Let's cut to the chase. I know you're not a woman.
Hey, you don't know how he identifies.
If you can beat
You know
What
how
do you know
he
about the
identifies.
U.S. Opens for the Global Games?
You want us to compete as women. $5,000 prizes.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
join
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it. So a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice.
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes.
Coach, Alex, we could play basketball.
We'd have to get the whole team back together.
It's time
We're in.
I'm in. I'm in.
to play
Lady Ballers. Mount up.
like a girl.
Guess what? I'm with her.
Oh, no, dude.
I'm in my truth. This is my truth.
Oh, no, dude.
Day one of being a girl athlete?
Day one of being a girl athlete?
We could dominate every woman's sport.
Zero.
Swimming, soccer. I said sport, Felix. Ladies basketball, boys. Nobody watches.
Oh, dude.
Excuse me. Are these seats open?
Never mind.
Getting dunks. And tucking trunks.
Ducking trunks.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
That's the biggest I've ever seen on a lady.
Lady Ballers.
Oh, gosh.
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
Only on Daily Wire Plus December 1st.
Oh, gosh.
This is so bad, dude. Like, this reminds me of like
man.
good comedies from the '80s, man. Like, we need that spirit back.
Yeah, I'll be watching
If you're
that.
gonna parody, do it well. Yes.
That looks like it's a good
That
parody.
was Matt Walsh, yes.
I think Ben
Those
Shapiro's
chicks
in
got
that as well.
balls. Ben Shapiro's
Ted
in
Cruz,
it too.
that was
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, they've got a lot of people in there.
Never mind.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're just. There's going to be so many people that are triggered by that. Yeah, it's. In fact, there's going to be people that are going to see that we showed the trailer, and they're going to be triggered by that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to laugh because I just think it's funny. These people get triggered so easily.
I'm already pineapple head, so I don't care.
You know, and like John Delarose is doing this book right here, called Top Grift, which is funny. So Ethan did a cover for the new Top G, and JDA's like, I'm still making this book. I don't care.
Like EVS did a cover?
Yeah, I did a cover for him.
I think nothing wrong with that.
No,
You know what I mean?
and there's a top CG. Not only is there a top grift, there's now also a top CG. So it's pretty much making fun of Comicsgate, and which I love as well. I mean, you gotta, but it's coming from someone that's in that group, right?
Yeah,
that's in the mix.
Be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
a little bit of self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't take yourself that seriously.
Mike
That's-
Miller, like the Quaff did this. Wait, who did that? Is that
That looks like him, too.
Felsberg?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the Quaff. Quaff did. That's Mike. That's Mike S. Miller. That's Miller.
It's that.
Very good likeness.
Oh,
Did Miller do that drawing?
Did Miller did that?
Oh, okay.
That's Quaff.
Quaff did this one. That was
Gonna
the
say it
Quaff.
looks more like Donald DeLay.
Yeah. Well, they all look.
Well, he made it a little bit pudgier. Yeah, made it a little bit
They all
pudgier.
look a little
No,
bit-
I mean the drawing style.
Oh yeah, it did look a little bit like Donald DeLay style.
Yeah.
But no, that was that was the Quaff. I really like this cover.
Yeah, you can
That
tell it
one
was Mark Miller. Yeah.
Matt
Or not
Clausen
Mark,
did a
but-
pretty good cover there.
Yeah. Smiller.
Standard cover here is by Miller. That's Smiller right there. Smiller's
Yeah.
good at the ladies. He knows how to draw the ladies.
Yeah.
He's always been pretty solid at that. That's Cecil back there. Cecil looks BA. Doesn't he?
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight though, so that
But he
that's
does.
pretty realistic.
Cecil does actually. He's looking really good in the real life. Yeah, in the real life, he's looking really good.
In the real life. Yep.
Yeah. You know, not
It's all
not
real life.
not the fake life that we.
Kelsey's book. There's Glenn's book. Look at there. It's
Yeah.
AR13L. Right next to
Yeah.
Hatch and a
They
tape.
keep making money. They're almost at 19 grand. They keep
Yeah.
making money. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with these guys. Glenn's book.
Yep.
Storefront. See, that's
Yep.
what I was trying to point out. This one's only got 6 days left to go. Oh, guys, I forgot. You need to back this book. Totally forgot. So we have some deals. We went ahead and if you got a physical, you're going to get some extra stuff with it. You're going to get digital of the book as well as digital for issue 1 and issue 1 of GOD and hybrids. And then we lowered the price on that because no one was biting. And I owe Bunny $4. Bunny's the only one that grabbed that one before we lowered the price. No, not that one. This one right here. Bunny's the only one that grabbed this. We lowered the price. I owe him $4. So I'll be giving you a refund here in a little bit, Bunny. But yeah. So yeah, back this book because we're taking it down in 6 days. It's gonna be non up there. If that's I'm making stuff up now.
Yeah, that's not a word, is it?
Non up there.
None up there.
It's not going to be up
Makes
there.
sense though.
Yeah, it's not going to be up there anymore. But yeah, look, we're storefront. 92 days ago, storefront. People are really taking advantage of this storefront. Between Demons just ended. Literally just ended. Good job. They funded. Way to go, guys. Storefront. I mean, the storefront is very popular because you can go there and shop these books literally anytime you want to. And it's it's kind of perpetual. So you can literally use Fun My Comic as just a place to go and like a virtual spinner rack. You can just jump on it, and people are really using that. And we're seeing a lot of positive stuff come from that. A lot of positive, like every day. Tips to the website, transactions. Yeah, it's doing good. It's doing really good.
Cool.
Let me see.
I still think people underestimate digital stuff. I mean, we are entering an age of a new age of new customers and new people that are interested in new kinds of stuff. And we got big screen TVs now, right? You get your art, you want to take a look at the art. And for collectors, you got a really good option to, like, you know, you don't have to touch the comic. You can just put it in a case. They're fine. And it's definitely a really good way to get collectors interested in your stuff.
Yeah, and preserve your original book.
Exactly. Which I like doing. I personally like doing. I like getting number one issue of something just because the prestige of having number one.
Yeah, we're actually working on. We're trying to work on that. Use a filter for storefront versus funding books. That's one of the next things that I want to have added. We still have a patch to do for the reward sorting, so we're still working on that. Once we have that all sorted out, we'll do a sorting thing. Probably the first of the year is when we'll have the filter for storefront versus funding versus the other funding types. So that is the plan.
Dude, I have
No,
to
I've
bring
not gotten my parcel yet, man. I'm
To
waiting.
bring up the chainsaw. Jeez.
All right. So what are we looking at, Randy?
What? Sorry. You're looking at a page from The Shadow Kingdom by Russ Leach.
Ooh,
it's a story I got to adapt of Robert E. Howard's. It's the first recognized American sword and sorcery tale involving King Kull. That's in public domain. So I broke it down for Russ, and he's been knocking it out of the park ever since. It's going to be a 68, 69 page graphic novel. It'll be the entire story. It'll be a faithful adaptation of the story, which the plot, Marvel's done a Kull that kind of had it in it, and Dark Horse has done a Kull that kind of had it in it, but nobody really adapted the story beat for beat, and we're doing it here. And it's going to be a great little volume. As you can see, Russ is literally doing the best work he's ever done, and he'll tell you it's the best work he's ever done. Here's another page. It's about Kull becoming the king of Valusia and running across a conspiracy to dethrone him by a race of shape-shifting lizard people.
Oh, I know a couple of those.
And Kull has had a long history up to this point. It's a great introduction to the Atlantean, and just the story is just fantastic. Just amazing
the art
stuff. If you've never read Howard before, this is a great way to get into his works. Some just absolute phenomenal stuff here. And you saw another page that Russ showed you. That's from the same work. It's all coming together. We're hoping to have it on Fund My Comic in the first quarter of 2024.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a great book.
Can't wait either.
Great,
I have to letter the whole thing. So hey, here we go.
Yeah,
and I get to go over top of Russ's phenomenal line work and try to make. So trying to use as much of the prose as possible, because everything's in the feel of the story, and Howard is somebody to me that I don't want to play around with and go through and do little changes here and there. It's not. I think the version that we're doing has never really been done before, and that's why I'm so excited about this book. There's a lot of great stuff in there, a lot of phenomenal verbiage, and maybe it'll encourage a few people to read more Howard in the future, because a lot of the stuff that has come out over the years, so the Titan reprint books are really good. The Ablaze books are amazing. Some of the Savage Sword magazines capture the feel, but they don't capture the quality of Howard's prose work. It's just unmatched, I think. I have great admiration.
Guys, you might be able to see the shirt I'm wearing today.
Yep, Death Can Wait. I'm making comics.
I'm making comics. You can go get you can go get your shirt today over at arrowcomics.store. I do want to show off arrowcomics.store just for a moment. Let me go Arrow.
Threw some additions in there. There's still more stuff, so much more stuff to come. 2024 is going to be a big year for Arrow. I've got a couple things that aren't even on the store yet that are about ready to go. So.
Nice.
Yep. So right here at the arrowcomics.store, you'll notice that we have a new featured product. We have Soul Tack issues 1, 2, and 3 available to purchase from the website right there. It would be nice.
Is that as a book or as individual floppies?
Individual floppies.
Okay.
So if you go to the shop, you'll notice that we have Soul Tack issues 1, 2, and 3 up there for $4.99. And then we also have Rift Riders up there for $4.99 as well. Plus, you can get your Death Can Wait, I'm Making Comics t-shirt. Or you can get a couple of digital only for adults, Spank the Monkey, issues 1 and 2, plus all your Hero Bucks
Colorized.
and a lot of digital stuff up there. We don't have
so originally when they were out, they were in black and white.
You.
So those Spank files are in color.
True.
So
yep, and we don't have the digitals up for Soul Tack or Rift Riders yet, but we will have those up here soon. Soonish.
Look for those soon.
So yeah, so we're doing
as well
that,
as a lot of other stuff, man.
That's available right over there. So please go over there and check that out. Those are shipping. Well, they're shipping now, so you should be able to get these by Christmas time. If you
everything in the store is available immediately. Yeah.
And then we have today. I just did this. StoneStudios.com. If you go over here to buy comics. I just put a huge sale up there. All the digitals are free.
Nice.
And I've made the issue number 1 $3 and $4 for all the other physical issues. So I don't know how long I will run the physical sale, but we'll do that for a couple of weeks. And we may run the digitals all the way up through Christmas or the New Year before I take those back off. Also, drop $10 off the Volume 1 Trash Day. We have a couple copies of that left. And the Quick Play, we took $10 off that as well, so it's $5 right now. So you can go over there and check that out. Get some digitals, get caught up on the Hybrid Universe. Maybe one of these characters will become your favorite character. Maybe it's Trash Man, the lovable yet hard-working blue-collar hero. Maybe it's Bone, the loudmouth and slightly obnoxious little brother who has a tendency for puns and violence. Maybe it's Chlorine, that sexy kickboxing mama that likes a little eye candy herself. You never know. You never know who your favorite character might be. For me? What about you? Who's your favorite character?
Well, I haven't actually read your series yet.
What the...
It's on the list, though.
Free.
It's hey, there you go. Now I'll read it.
Hey.
Speaking, am I if I get a little bit of self promo there, Luke? Is it okay?
Go for it, man.
All right, I got a thing here. You guys want to take a look?
That's what she said.
Okay, so it says here I make action figures and 3D models, miniatures for production. I'm one of the best in the industry at cloth for 3D. I likewise consult on tabletop game development. I also writing my own comic, which is penciled and inked by the great Renzo Rodriguez, which is a comic called Driftwood. You can take a look at some of my stuff here if you ever need. It's a little off center. If you ever need action figures, 3D models of any kind, I can essentially hook you up. Just send me a message and we'll get you sorted out. And of course, this is one of the characters here for Driftwood I did the reference art for. If you ever need anything made, especially for action figures, I mean, cloth I do extremely well, and a lot of heroes have capes.
If you need assets for your
assets, right? You can use
the guy to hire. Yeah,
I can set you up like 3D models for your scenes, for your characters, or backgrounds, all kinds of stuff. But it is time consuming, and a lot of this stuff does take a lot of time. And this is, of course, some of the artwork by Renzo, who is doing a fantastic job portraying these characters and stuff.
Very good. All right, Pedro.
Well, I can't really show you what I'm doing, guys, but my animation chops are making a huge jump.
When are you launching?
And why was it, guys? We're still on the sign up phase. It kind of stalled a bit, so I'm trying ways to get the thing out. That's why I'm thinking about putting a little snippet of it. Maybe I'll do a little like webtoon, like reformat some of the pages so I can use the webtoon format.
Yeah.
So people can get acquainted
Share
with the story.
panel every once in a while.
Yeah, and doing that to get this, our goal is to get to 200. We're halfway to 200 signups to launch, and I'm on page 32 of the book. So chipping away. It's 130 pages, and we're getting there.
Guys, I want to thank you guys for being on the panel today. Thanks for showing up again. It was nice having a week off for Thanksgiving, but it's nice being back and having a little laugh about some of the news. Unfortunately, some of the news was a little discouraging today. But there is hope. Wherever there is a cloud, there is a silver lining. And I think that we will find new and creative ways to get through all of that. I want to thank the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here and contributing and hanging out with us. The only reason we get up early on a Thursday morning and take these 3 hours is because you guys are awesome and we love hanging out with you. Thank you again for being here. Remember, it is so easy to tear things down. We see it happening in spades these days. So please, please, please build up more than you tear down. Leave the wood pile higher than you found it. And by all means, please be careful out there. Be careful.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. Two Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459. 218 W's a GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes.